What's going on, everybody? John Ott here with you. It is Wednesday, November 9th, 2022. How's everybody doing out there today? Let's give you the starting lineups for both teams. So for the Carolina Hurricanes, it's Sebastian Aho, Teuvo Teravainen, and Seth Jarvis with Jacob Slavin and Brent Burns on the first line. There's Barry Kotkaniemi, Andrei Svechnikov with Marty Necas, and then Brady Skjei and Brett Pesce. Jordan Staal, Jordan Martinook, and Jesper Fast is out there with Jack Drury, Stefan Noesen, and Derek Stefan, third and fourth line respectively. Third line defense is Dylan Coghlan and Jalen Chatfield, and Annti Raanta is going to get the start in net. Now, what does it sound like for the Florida Panthers? It sounds like this: Alexander Barkov, Carter Verhaeghe, Colin White with Gustav Forsling and Brandon Montour, Antoine Lundell, Ryan Lundberg, Sam Reinhart with Josh Mahura and Rako Gudas. It's Sam Bennett, Ito Listerainen, and Nick Cousins, Eric Stahl, Rudolph Walters, and Alexei Hopaniemi with Matt Kirstead, Mark Stahl in the third line defense, and Spencer Knight will be getting the start for Paul Maurice's squad. So as we get close to puck drop here, the Carolina Hurricanes 8-3-1 in the Metro, 3-2 at home, 5-1-1 on the road. Head coach by Rod Brindamore. On the other side for the Florida Panthers, 7-5-1, 3-0-1 at home, 4-5-1 away. So this is a good opportunity for the Florida Panthers to actually get some home cooking at FLA Live Arena, as we're just going to get set to get underway here. So John on here with down puck drop. I'm going to give you the complete game story at hopefulsportsguide.wordpress.com. So all the Stalls are out there right now. You got Jordan Staal, Mark Stahl, and Eric Stahl in between the two teams. So all the brothers are playing. Shot right out in front. Raanta had to make a huge save, and this is picked up by Necas, I believe, as this is going to go toward the Florida logo as Florida tries to get this back out. It's been a quick-moving start here as Balsers will try to get this one in deep. Cousins lost it, and now this goes back across the red line. Carolina can intercept. Fans are still getting their seats right now, but the action has been pretty quick here. A couple shots for the Panthers, not even a minute in. It's Carolina and Martinook has this go all the way back. So it'll be Gustav Forsling and Brandon Montour. Brandon Montour has been excellent here from the injured Aaron Ekblad. He's got to step in there and be the top pair, and he's been one of the best ones in the league right now. Holding him toward the blue line, and this was tipped out in front, stopped by Raanta. Still with Rako Gudas as he tries to throw this into an open right wing side. Alexander Barkov will cut him off. Carolina just trying to get this one down the ice. Chip and chase for it. Teuvo Teravainen can't get their first. Forsling will get the touch up, and we'll get an icing. So Carolina cannot change. So when you're talking about some of the same narratives you always talk about with Carolina, again, 8-3-1 as you should, you also think about the defensive pairing, and I bring this up all the time, between Brady Skjei and Brett Pesce. They are a +8 combined. That is the best in the NHL so far between those two, +16. So you know they are the shutdown pair. They aren't always going to be getting you offense, but they can shut down the other team's offense to the best of their ability. In the defensive zone, then chip down Sebastian Aho. Nice pass for Necas. Big blocker save there by Spencer Knight. As Florida now trying to go right to left across your radio dial. The Florida in the red tops and Carolina in the white tops. It's the way that you can tell this because they have a lot of the same color schemes between both. It's blue pants for the Florida Panthers and red pants for the Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina Hurricanes will be going left to right across your radio dial in this first period. So Ryan Lundberg will try to get on there, and now this goes around the cage of Annti Raanta near the left side red line. Still picked around here. In between Ranta's office is Lundberg trying to find it with Antoine Lundell. And on the second-year man, as this is kept in by the defense, this goes just wide of Spencer Knight. Now Carolina can pick this one up. Marty Necas watches it go by, and this goes all the way down the ice. Did it last touch anybody? No, it did not. So it's going to be another icing against Carolina. So they're saying for the Florida side, that's what I'm getting on the FLA Live Arena feed here for Bally Sports Florida. Get your legs and match the Canes' speed. And that makes a lot of sense there because with the Carolina Hurricanes, you have the top line of Sebastian Aho, Teuvo Teravainen, and Seth Jarvis. And they can do as much damage as anybody. What they really need to get going, though, is the rest of it for Teuvo Teravainen, because he's been off to a cold start, even being on that first line. He's got 5 assists. He doesn't have any goals yet. But he is a +2. Kotkaniemi will backhand this one down the ice, and that is another icing against Carolina. So Carolina has not been able to make any changes. They've just been able to get this puck down. And for the Florida Panthers, as we talk about in the open, when you think about their record, 4-5-1, they've already played 10 road games to just 4 home games, and it's been a road heavy schedule. It's been a road heavy schedule for both teams right now. And it's going to be a couple games back and forth for the Carolina Hurricanes before they'll get a lengthy stand at PNC, but that's not going to happen pretty much until the month of December. So they're going to alternate a little bit until they get a little bit of a lengthy homestand. Jalen Chatfield trying to get around Bennett. Bennett now has the puck deep in behind Raanta's office. Montour fans on the one-timer, picked up by Stefan Nose in there, picked up by Lester-Ryan now for the Panthers. It's still loose out in the middle of the slot and on Necas. We'll have to backhand this one, chip and chase. There's been a lot of chip and chase for Carolina right now in the first period as they have Nosen out there with Stefan. They got the fourth line out there for Rod Brennanmore's squad. It's turned over. Nosen has it now. Fighting through a couple of stick plays. Jalen Chatfield puts us across an empty left face-off dot, and this is picked up by Florida, and they're going to get wholesale line changes. So Paul Maurice's squad still trying to get everything set away there as Racco Gudis and Brent Burns will dump this one in. First line defense out there right now for Paul Maurice's squad as this is slapped in there by Burns. Martinook also trying to be the first to get on there. Burns cancels off his man, and now this goes to Eric Stahl. Stahl picks it up from Jordan Stahl, and now Montour also getting in there as well, but it's offside against Bolsers and the Florida Panthers. 16-17 left to go in the first period. John and I with you from FLA Live Arena. It's an early season matchup between some pretty good teams, the Florida Panthers and the Carolina Hurricanes, but your only question is, and we'll have to put the question when we get to the commercial break, is are the Florida Panthers a better team than they were last year? Because the record says otherwise, but when you also think about, again, the trade between Jonathan Huberdeau, Mackenzie Weegar, Cole Schwinn in the first round, Mackenzie Weegar, that's a huge loss on the defensive end there for Florida. Again, Matthew Tkachuk is not playing in this game because he was suspended. You got the stick up in the mask of Jonathan Quick of the LA Kings, so he's suspended for a couple more games. He's not going to be here for tonight's contest, so that's big production lost there. And when you look on the side of it, again, as the puck is battled toward the right wing side, picked up by Martinook, you look on the side of it for Matthew Tkachuk, that's 5 goals, 12 assists, 17 points, and a +6. And off the outside of the cage, and now this goes up and on a plate. 15:43 left to go in the first. Again, it's the 8-3-1 Carolina Hurricanes taking on the 7-5-1 Panthers early in the season. Tomorrow I may or may not be available as far as we can go ahead and cover. It's either going to be Flames Bruins with Cooper Hopkins, or I might cover the Rangers and the Red Wings if I'm available tomorrow. Friday I probably won't be on. I had some other stuff to take care of, and then Saturday we will be on for late assignment. That'll be like a 10 or 10:30 start Eastern. Picked up now and iced again. So this is going to go back the other way. Florida Panthers, it looks like there's a lot of empty seats. Are people still following in? I would hope so, because about half the crowd is there at FLA Live. And you would think in this kind of game, I mean, I understand it's a little bit of an earlier start, but between Carolina and Florida, you'd think that'd be a must-get ticket. But there is a ton of empty seats. Let's say half the building's only full right now. Andrei Svechnikov gets it off the steal to the neutral zone. Forsling trying to cancel him off there with Montour. Long shot gets misfired in up off the glass, and this bounces all the way back to the Panthers' logo. Picked up now the red line side, intercepted there by Forsling. He dumps it in deep there with Reinhart trying to be the first to get on it, but Carolina able to get this one. Verhaeghe not too far from him. Brandon Montour off the backhand. He just whistled that one way wide off the glass. This is still with Florida right now. This looks like both teams are not sharp, with the exception of the first minute. Marty Necas able to fight through the screen. Now he's going to get around Forsling. Instead, he's just going to dump this one in deep, and now Montour will get a stick on it. So Paul Maurice's squad now going to try to go right to left across your radio dial. Long outlet pass. And now here's a chance for the defense here for Carolina, but it's turned over off of a lazy backhand clear. Brent Burns trying to find it as well. And now Jalen Chatfield also out there. Chatfield will get this one deep with Aho. He's just going to flick it ahead. Backhand pass for Jarvis. Somehow found his man. Picked up now almost off the sauce by Jarvis as he goes back to him from Aho. And then intercepted by Nick Cousins. Cousins will get this one down the ice. This is in behind the office there of Annti Raanta. Again, Freddie Anderson has an undisclosed injury, so he's not going to be available for today's game, and that is one of those things for Carolina. You talk about that, a stall is way offside. That's always a problem. When you have Freddie Anderson, yes, he's a great goaltender, but he's not been able to stay healthy, and that's kind of the issue that they face in themselves for Florida. So 3-2 as the shots on goal in favor of the Panthers. Eric Staal, he's in his 1,300th NHL game tonight, as you just saw the counter go across on the Valley Sports Florida feed. That's what I got tonight. Neutral zone face-off. That's won by Neusen, as this one gets picked up. Almost misplayed there by Spencer Knight. They needed to make a 5-hole save off the left pad, as this is with Carolina. Neusen able to knock down his man. Picked up there off the backhand. He's got it off the backhand side. Now going to fake the slap shot is Brett Pesce. He puts it in deep. Jesperi Kotkaniemi leaves it here for Skjei. Skjei through the traffic. Big save by Spencer Knight off the rebound. And now Skjei. Martinook will get this one back to Skjei. Skjei holding on the high side left line. Back to Stepan. Stepan out in front. Martinook. Martinook gets roughed off the puck there. And then Stepan as well. This is still with Carolina until Bolsers knocked it away. Brett Pesce. I think that might actually be offside. Yes, it is, as it was touched. So we're going to get a break and come right back. 4 shots to 3. We are still scoreless. 13-14 in between Carolina and Florida. Come right back. What's going on, Alec? How are you doing? Are you rooting for any one of these teams today? Or are you just following along between these 2 teams in Carolina and Florida? What's your pleasure tonight? I'm watching on the Valley Sports Florida feed, 4K Fire Stick, but it's only 720p on that side because damn ESPN. But we got Twitter Spaces and YouTube side tonight. We're in the middle of a commercial break, and I will go ahead and pull up the ESPN box score so I can relay any penalties or anything else that comes across. So again, I have the first game. There is only 3 other games tonight. It is the Canucks and Canadiens at 7:30 Eastern. On TNT, it'll be Pens and Caps, so you get another matchup between Crosby and Ovechkin. And at TNT also, their doubleheader, Wild and Ducks. Wild are 5-6-1. They just lost a 1-0 game the other night to Jonathan Quick. Able to get the shutout. Marc-Andre Fleury took a tough luck loss. He was really good in that game. It was Gabe Vigliardi had the lone goal.
We're approaching holiday time, so what would be Santa without a Panther jersey and a rat?
So a Santa Claus in the building with the rat for the Florida Panthers already, but we're not even in Thanksgiving. So there you go. First in defense between slot shot, cycle chance, and rebound chances, and how about the Panthers offense? Second in those areas, first in rebounds. So there should be a team with a mirror match in between both, and we'll see how it goes. So neutral zone face-off as we're back underneath the way now. This is picked up across the red line by Brent Burns, and we'll see who's going to cancel out who. Again, it's going to be right to left across your radio dial for the Florida Panthers in the first period, and the left to right for the Carolina Hurricanes. Panthers are in the home reds, Carolina in the road whites. Quick shot goes just to the wide of the left post of Annti Raanta as Florida trying to buzz. Again, Florida, they're just happy to be back home here. They're 4-5-1 on the road. Bennett will get this one dumped in deep as this finds Brent Burns, and they're going to go back and pick this up between Slavin and Burns. Slavin's got it now. He's going to wait for the forwards to take a change. Jacob Slavin, again, one of the very best defensemen that you got, but also on the other side between Skjei and Pesce, they're combined plus 16. Marty Necas put on the wheels as it gets to Brent Burns. Brent Burns gets knocked down, but not before they can take their change. Necas will leave this for Jesperi Kotkaniemi, but he overskated it, and here comes Carter Verhaeghe. Picked up now by Barkov. Barkov trying to fight in between the skates. Verhaeghe trying to join in. Montour holds it in through the right side blue line. And now Verhaeghe lost it near the right side red line. Barkov is going to have to come back and pick up because Verhaeghe and Montour are actually pinching up in front. So the Canes will get this one down the ice. And maybe this could be another icing against Carolina. That is the fourth icing for the Carolina Hurricanes. We're not even halfway through the first period. It's 11:52, and we're still scoreless between Carolina and Florida. So Carolina 8-3-1 on the season. Florida 7-5-1. Again, Florida will be a little bit better to be able to come back home and see what happens again. But the biggest story is the loss of Matthew Tkachuk, a couple games with the suspension, getting the stick up at Jonathan Quick's face on the Sunday game. So he's not going to be available, and that's 17 points that you don't have right now, and a +6. So Bennett has it now with Reinhart. Picked up now, Lombard. He still has it as he's canceled off by Necas. Still picked up now by Lombard. Thrown out in front is another shot toward the right slot, and it's picked up by Raanta and held. So Annti Raanta, that was the first good save that he's really had to make. Again, there was a couple opportunities at the beginning of the game, but that was a definite slot shot. Good work there by Lundell, second-year man. Now, again, Antoine Lundell was an excellent rookie last season. Gets you at least about 50 points that you would expect. I think he can build on that, but it really depends on, again, when you're back at full strength. There's quite a few injuries here for the Florida Panthers. When you think about, again, Anthony Duclair with the ACL, Patrick Hornquist, Aaron Ekblad on defense, and Matthew Tkachuk with the suspension, that's a lot of heavy hitters that Paul Maurice in the squad is missing. As Martin lost it near the Panthers logo. This is still a battle toward the red line as this gets chipped in there by Carolina. Been a good defensive battle between both these teams right now. Jesper Fast trying to pry this clean here for Carolina. And now this gets picked up by Gustav Forsling as he hits this off the kick plate. And now Luostarinen can be the first to get to it, and the icing is waved off. Nick Cousins, fourth line now. Luostarinen trying to bank it off the sharp angle side of Annti Raanta on the left side post, as this is with the Florida Panthers. Montour will get this here now for Florida as they crisscross near the right side of the faceoff dot. Picked up now by Cousins. And this try to get picked up, tipped in front, scored! Nick Cousins on the doorstep. I think it was Forsling that let it go from the blue line. And Nick Cousins gets the Panthers on the board. That was kind of a fortunate play there. That was good defense on the right side line by Carolina, but Forsling able to find his way through the traffic as they hold. So now I want to take another look at this here. So it's Luostarinen, banks off between his legs. This goes to Montour. So Montour's going to fire when we go back and play this replay. It gets tipped out in front by Raanta, and there was no Carolina Hurricane in sight. So I will give an extra credit there for Luostarinen to play that through his legs back to Montour so he could fire it right on net. And Nick Cousins was the only one in front of Raanta, and that's an easy rebound goal as the Florida Panthers get a 1-0 lead. So nifty goal there and great work. So Aho trying to pick this up now from Zeph Jarvis. Aho will get it back as Jarvis trying to find this near the right side red line. Barkov comes all the way back to check, and this is going to be a race for the puck. It's Verhaeghe against Brent Burns, and Verhaeghe beats him clean. Verhaeghe's got it now as he spins off the right side red line. We'll see what happens right now as Bolsers with Verhaeghe. He gets fought off the puck. Barkov will pick it up now. Barkov lost it. Now this could be a 3-on-2 the other way, developing here for Carolina. And again, they're playing the chip and chase heavy play right now as Jarvis lost it in between the cage of Spencer Knight. Picked up now by Florida. Racco Gudis. Gudis will get this down. Verhaeghe has to go ahead and make his change after he gets a couple more stick checks in there. As this goes back to the fourth line side of Derek Stefan, Carolina. This goes back to Spencer Knight. He had to be quick about it to get this out. And Pesce shot gets blocked out front. Extra pass across and missed the net. Oh, there was no chance for Spencer Knight to make the save. But Derek Stefan just missed it all. And now Florida trying to get this out. Still passed out in front. Here's a chance for Stefan as he's still with it in behind the office of Spencer Knight. Here's a chance for Noisen as he gets knocked off the puck. And now Racco Gudis comes in there together with Drury. Now Noisen, Balsers, everyone else together near the right side faceoff dot. This is in Florida's defensive end. It's been hemmed in there for about a minute now. Again, a shot just missed the net as this was picked up as the Panthers finally get this out. Now on the backhand side is onside. Chance I go wide on stop by Raanta. as he robs Sam Reinhart the backhand pass. He was onside, and Raanta made a big save there with 8:33 as we go to the break. It could easily be 2-0 Florida. And now we go to break. It's still 1-0. 8:33 left in the first. Come right back. Hey, Alec, I appreciate you listening, buddy. Hope you're having a good one. Again, I will throw this question on the YouTube side. I want to just get your guys' thoughts here. Let's say a simple question here.
Buckle up, NBA fans, because the best to ever do it are back. That was amazing. There will always be bumps in the road.
Okay, so I won't lie to you in the sense of what we think we already know. We think the Carolina Hurricanes are going to be a playoff team, but I'm going to throw this in the YouTube side. Do you still think the Panthers are going to be a playoff team this season? I will throw that in the comment box. You guys let me know what you think. I appreciate anyone else that's jumped in and out of the YouTube side as well.
We've been building this country for 119 years, but we're just getting started. You make the holidays happen.
And then I'm going to go ahead as we get our game notes to go ahead and type in what's available so you guys can also be updated as well. So right now at the 9:21 mark, it's Nick Cousins with his first of the season from Brandon Montour, his 9th assist, and Ito Luosterainen, he got his 5th right now. It says what it's listed. I imagine that is not going to be changed because Brandon Montour did get the primary assist off the shot. Nick Cousins was first on the doorstep, and it beat Raanta clean. There was really no chance for him to be able to make that save. Get back into the official action right now. It's a defensive draw for the Carolina Hurricanes, and it's a loss. He's going to get a chance to get picked up now by Matt Kerstead as a third-line defense is out there right now for Paul Maurice. So it's Matt Kerstead and Mark Stahl. Mark Stahl, the former Red Wing and Ranger. Again, he's playing with his brother Eric, but you also have his brother Jordan as the captain of the Carolina Hurricanes. So there are a lot of Stahl brothers on the ice right now. They've been good players for a long time. Chip down the ice is Kerstead. We'll get this one, but it's not dumped out. But it did bounce off Svechnikov. And then now Carolina will get this in deep. Andrei Svechnikov now trying to win the race as he's trying to fight off Kerstead. Svechnikov now lost it. Good work there by Kerstead in between his lungs to him a couple of times as he dumps it all the way back down to Jacob Slavin. So Jacob Slavin and Brent Burns, top lines out there right now. This very Kotkaniemi. This one bounces way up in the air. Where is it? This is gloved down in between the right side neutral zone and then dumped in through the ice again by Carolina. So Carolina not trying in this period to get skating neutral zone entries. They're trying to dump and shapes this thing as this gets tipped out in front of Raanta. And Martinook has to come back and go ahead and pick this up here for Carolina. Picked up now by Colin White. Colin White will get this one across for Barkov. One-timer. That one goes just wide near the right side face-off dot. Carter Verhaeghe comes together, but it's 3 Carolina Hurricanes to 1 Florida Panther, and the Florida Panthers actually won it for a moment there as the shot was blocked out front of Raanta and now picked up by Stahl. Barkov all the way back in his own end trying to help out Spencer Knight and get this one down the zone. And this could be an icing. It is. This is going to go against the Florida Panthers. They cannot change. 10 shots to 6 in favor of the Florida Panthers. They have a 1-0 lead right now, courtesy of a goal from Nick Cousins at the 9:21 mark of the first period. Appreciate anyone else that's following along on the YouTube side and the Twitter Spaces side today. I don't know if I'm going to be here for tomorrow's contest. That could either be the Boston Bruins and Calgary Flames or Detroit Red Wings and New York Rangers if I'm on my own. If I am able to do tomorrow's game, Friday's basketball game will probably be canceled. Then Saturday I will be back with a late night matinee hockey game. So Jarvis trying to pick this up now in his own end. And now this is intercepted by Florida. They're trying to break out here with Colin White. He'll be the first to get this over Dylan Coghlan as it's just held toward the right side faceoff dot right now. 6:20 left to go in this first period or thereabouts. Nice feed there as Luosterainen tried to get a piece of it from Colin White. He was trying to break right down through the middle of the slot, but it got canceled off by Carolina. Jarvis, extra pass to Jesperi Kotkaniemi. This is dumped on the kick plate, and Spencer Knight's going to hold on to that left post. Again, Florida doing an excellent job right now trying to hem up Carolina and break up anything that they want to do right now, which is not something you would normally expect. Again, Florida is a really good team, but Carolina shouldn't have much trouble that they are trying to just dump this puck in rather than skate. But that's the game plan right now, and we'll see how that changes as these periods will continue to pass. So Cousins. This bounces off of him, and this gets picked up now by Carolina. So no penalties right now. It's been a fast-moving first period, 5:35 left to go. Florida with a 1-0 lead, courtesy of Nick Cousins at the 9:21 mark. Picked up now on the fourth line side there by Florida, but they can't get it out. Stefan tries to dump this in deep, so it's the fourth line now for Rod Brandamore. The first line of their defensive side is Burns. Watch that one go by. He went all the way back into the neutral zone. As this is picked up now, Montour will get this down deep. Balsers will be the first to get to it now. And Neusen has to find this now. Stefan, there was a little bit of miscommunication as far as who was going to get that puck. And this could be a chance for Florida. Racco Gudas will instead just put this around the kick plate as he got cut off near the left side faceoff dot. Jesperi Kotkaniemi comes together with Slavin. Slavin trying to do some work toward the Florida Panthers on the right side red line. It's still with Slavin now as he was able to pry it free. Slavin trying to skate through now as he will dump this one in. Neusen's going to go ahead and take his change. It finds the giant goal stick of Spencer Knight of Florida now. We'll get this into the neutral zone as Ralph Balsers. We'll get this one down. Here's a chance now for John Lindell. Lindell gets it. Picked up now by Pesce momentarily. Pesce still has it. That's the backhanded pass for Marty Necas. Another backhanded dump in there by Carolina. Svechnikov tries to be the first to get to it, but it's intercepted by Necas. Blocked out front, and this goes up and out of play. We're going to get a media stoppage. Still 1-0. 4:17 left to go in the first. John Ott here with you on the call from FLA Live Arena. Come right back.
A 180 empty quarter. And that 65-degree incline held revenge. But we didn't do all that just to get here. We did it to give you a truck that'll take you anywhere. This is the new Nissan.
So when we get to any other scoring updates, I will bring those to you right now. Again, this is the only game going on at the moment. Everything else is just about the puck drop between Vancouver and Montreal and Pittsburgh and Washington, as we got the doubleheader on TNT side between Crosby and Ovechkin and Minnesota, and then the Ducks at the end of it at 10. The NBA scoreboard sounds like this. It's the Mavs with a 1-point deficit of the Magic, 84-83. 30-25 lead for the Hornets over the Trailblazers, 11-25 in the second. The Nuggets have a 10-point lead over the Pacers, 35-25. Just about to end the first quarter. So we'll have a full slate of games across both sports in the NBA and the NHL. So I will keep you guys updated on that side when we get to it. So here's a chance for me as well to show best records goalies 24 years of age or younger. Carter Hart, Jake Ottinger, Spencer Knight. Spencer Knight 21, he's 4-1. Jake Ottinger 5-1. Again, that would be more if it wasn't for the injury. So I get a chance to look at Spencer Knight tonight and see actually what he's going to look like for the future there for Florida. High draft pick there, high in the first round several years ago, in the sense of you had Sergei Bobrovsky sign a long-term deal, now you got Knight. You got to feel pretty good if you're Florida on that side. So back into the official action right now as the faceoff is won by Carolina in the offensive zone, and now the traffic is trying to be cleared by Florida and down the ice as this goes back in between Skjei. Skjei will bounce this off and Jesperi Kotkaniemi. Now Marty Necas will get this one in across the red line. Spencer Knight has to play this one quickly as he gets the big goal stick to it. This is dumped out in front of the slot. Florida just trying to clear some space as this bounces off of Racco Gudas's glove and then glove down. Picked up now as one of the Florida Panthers loses their stick. It's a battle for the neutral zone. It's a drowning pool of bodies everywhere. And this is picked up now by Florida in their own end. 3:25 left to go in this first period. It's a 1-0 lead for the Florida Panthers. Martinook lost it, and now Lusterinen was able to get a piece of it. Now it's still battled in the neutral zone. As there's diving sticks, there's Lusterinen, there's Bennett, there's Necas, and now this goes back to Skjei. Skjei will get this one off of a stick, so it's not icing there. 3:05 left to go in the first. Florida's got a 1-0 lead. Who's out in front for Necas with a one-timer, and that was sticked aside by Spencer Knight. Martinook able to intercept past Gudas. Gudas looks a little banged up. This is gloved out in front and gloved down in front of the traffic of Spencer Knight. Picked up by Carolina. It's not cleared out as Jesper Fast tries to get to it as he cancels off Stahl. And this goes back down the ice to Annti Raanta. So the Canes will take their changes on the forward side and attempt to go left to right across your radio dial. Annti Raanta, 3-on-1 on the season with 242 goals against and a 901 save percentage. Jarvis puts it out in front, and this one right in the catching glove as Spencer Knight held. 2:28 left to go in the first. John Ott with you from FLA Live Arena. I'm watching on ESPN Plus tonight, trying to give you this early season matchup between Carolina and Florida. Two teams that we think are going to be pretty good throughout the NHL season, but again, Florida's depth is tested a little bit with the amount of injuries that they have on that side. And you want to talk about the amount of injuries, I got that in front of me. Patrick Hornquist, Matthew Tkachuk with the suspension, Anthony Duclair, Aaron Ekblad as well. And for Carolina Hurricanes, it's Ondrej Kase with the concussion. They expect him to be back in a couple of days. Again, Max Pacioretty, he's going to have a long-term injury, so we'll see when he actually ends up making his debut. Probably maybe February, March, when it gets to the late point in the season. That's what it sounds like right now. As this is picked up now by third-line defense of Dylan Coghlan and Jalen Chatfield. That's what's out there right now for Rod Brendamore's squad. It's Sebastian Aho. So third-line defense with the first line, Teuvo Teravainen. He lost it as the Florida Panthers can pick this one up now through the neutral zone. It's Antoine Lundell. He gets canceled off as Jalen Chatfield will play this one near the right side red line. Picked up now by Coghlan, but good work there by Florida and Lundell just to make life difficult. As Chatfield still trying to get this out and dumped in deeper by Florida. So now Annti Raanta is going to leave it here for Coghlan. And Coghlan's going to take his time as the forwards go ahead and get a change here for Carolina. We'll see what happens now as Marty Necas will get this one down there deep. It's Drury. It's Stefan as well. Stefan near the left side red line. He's tangled up there with a host of Florida Panthers. Brandon Montour also out there as well as we get a close-in shot right now. So it's Radko Gudas. Picks it up. Stefan trying to intercept him behind the office. And Spencer Knight is centered out in front of the left post. And this is picked up now by Eric Stahl just in time before Spencer Knight would have had some adversity to have to deal with. Extra pass there by Stefan off the stick, and now it's a race for the puck as this is picked up now by Gudas. Drury tries to put it out in front as Neusen gets it now. Stahl able to intercept at the neutral zone side as it's a battle for the blue line. Picked up now by Florida as Gudas can get this one down. This goes off of a Brett Pesce stick and now picked up by Brent Burns, former San Jose Shark. Burns will get this one down deep. This has to get played by Spencer Knight with the goal stick. There's a broken twig in the middle of the offensive zone for Carolina. Alexander Barkov is still trying to battle through Burns and Jesperi Kotkaniemi. Still has it in behind the office of Raanta. This gets centered out in front, but this is intercepted by Marty Necas. Marty Necas gets knocked out roughly there by Radko Gudas, but that was a good clean check as we hit 5 seconds left to go in the first. Looks like it's going to end 1-0 at the end of the first there, as it's going to be a goal for Nick Cousins. And it's 11 shots tonight in favor of Florida. They got the early lead after one stanza. Come right back. We'll call second period action for the intermission.
Ability a late push by Carolina, but overall a great start for the Florida Panthers. They get that all-important first goal of the game thanks to Nick Cousins, his first goal as a Florida Panther. When we return, we will have our intermission report brought to you by Kia. Jeff Tickman will join me to break it all down. Katie will catch up with the goal scorer and more. It's all coming up next.
What if we... What is that?
Hey, Alexis, turn it up.
There's no news. The all-new Necas RX. Never lose your edge. You make the holidays happen, and that requires energy. Maybe interest you in a portable, pillowy, pancakey kind? Introducing the delicious new pancake wake-up wrap.
I won't keep everybody waiting too long. I'm just going to go ahead and type in this goal and kind of get some of the notes there for the game story. Game story is going to follow hopelesssportsguy.wordpress.com. If you ever want to follow me, it's at John Reinhart. You can do so at Facebook, Twitter, and on the YouTube side, and Instagram is TV Gunslinger. Again, I had to use my gamer tag because somebody took my side of my name on there. So, but basically, at John Reinhart between Facebook, Twitter, and the YouTube side.
Ironic. Bennett struggling with retention. Go to network and Verizon's new welcome unlimited plan for just $30 a line.
Everyone can get Verizon for just $30 a line. Now's the time to switch. Verizon. A great story has magic, power, and every once in a while, has miracles. Is luck what happened? That's our story. Future Hall of Famers Live, Sunday on ESPN. That is hard.
Okay, so your lone goal marker again at 9:21 of the first. It was kept in nicely by Ito Luosterainen near the right faceoff dot. It's played a pass in between the legs. Brandon Montour fires a shot near a crowded blue line. It was credit for him. It was a good job by him to get it off, but it must have surprised everybody in Carolina because no one's out in front to pick up the puck as Nick Cousins able to fire past Annti Raanta, and it's a 1-0 game after one.
This could have been a tricky game for the Florida Panthers. They just flew back from the West Coast on Monday. The first game back from a long West Coast road trip. Paul Maurice talked about how the first 10 minutes were going to be so important. Overall, impressed by what you saw in that first period from the Caps?
I think could have played better, Jess. Their attention to detail, their support, their layers of attack, their layers of defense. They did such a great job. And I can run down the list.
So let me just give you a quick, there were no penalties to speak of, so that's good in the fast-moving game. It was 11 shots to 9 in favor of the Panthers.
Leading the forecheck like he's been doing all year. It was a really solid period, Jess. And waiting for their opportunities to score. Not pressing it.
10 hits to 6 in favor of the Panthers as well. And then 11-5 on the faceoff dot in favor of Florida. So that tells you that they played pretty well, but also on the Florida side, they feel like they could have even played even better. But I will say this, in between what I've seen on the Florida side in the sense of they have the ability to give up a lot of goals here and there, to be able to play this type of game against Carolina, what you would expect to be a consistent playoff team, whether or not they can go deeper ultimately depends on Carolina's ability to win a game at PNC. That was kind of the issue last season, was it not? They didn't win a single game at home. They didn't win a single game on the road. They won all their games at home. So it was one of those situations where if that doesn't improve, obviously you can't have what you want for the playoff success, but it also depends on for Carolina as well. You need to have the health of Freddie Anderson. You don't have it in today's game as Annti Raanta plays yet again. So it seems like every single time, again, even through the playoffs and stuff, but every single time I cover Carolina, it's never Freddie Anderson in net.
Always special to get a goal with your new team, but we heard your dad is here. How much more special is that?
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. They're here for 2 weeks.
Just toward, and I'm going to go back to our game, but because we're in the intermission right now, I can flip through and give you any other updates. I think everything else is on the TNT side. So let's just do that right now for a couple minutes, and then I'll flip back to our featured game if everybody's cool with that. Allergies just kill me. I don't know what it is. If all that is dust or dog or whatever else. I'm trying to keep everything else clean, but it just destroys me. All right, so we're going to turn on this game between Pittsburgh and Washington. Look at this real quick just for a couple minutes, and then we'll flip back over on that side. So Washington's got a 5-1 shot advantage with 12-10 left to go in the first. They're scoreless. So here's the question that we can throw out between Pittsburgh and Washington. Which one of these teams do you believe are going to make the playoffs? Because right now, both of them are in dire straits. I know it's early here for Pittsburgh, but for Washington, they are incredibly beat up right now, and that's not what you want. Again, Alex Ovechkin doing all he can, I would imagine, as he's done scoring goals. Again, he's got the he just broke Gordie Howe's record as far as most goals with one team. He's got the most goals with Washington. He's going to be a lifelong cap, as you would expect. And he's probably going to break Wayne Gretzky's record. Probably could have already done so if it wasn't for COVID and also the lockout season. Regardless, I would still say Wayne Gretzky is the greatest player ever, but Alex Ovechkin is also the greatest goal scorer we've ever seen. I think I would have to say that. That would be a fair statement. So they show Ovechkin and Kuznetsov, and you really have to on those highlights, and you show Crosby on the other side. But I do like those throwback unis that they have as you go to a commercial break for the Washington Capitals. I like the dark black jerseys with the Falcon on that side of it. So that's a commercial break. So I guess we'll go back to ESPN. There's a goal scored by Montreal. Let's see if it's Nick Suzuki or Cole Caulfield. So we got the Sportsnet feed for Canucks and Canadians. That makes sense because you got two of those teams. So Cole Caulfield got an assist, his seventh. One shot, one goal. I don't know if Thatcher Demko's in net. I'll take a chance to get a look at that. So Thatcher Demko has a save percentage of 0, folks. It's one shot, one goal. And Sam Montembeault is in the goal for Montreal tonight. Just flipping through our games right now while we're in the middle of our intermission. I'm going to see how long the intermission is, so I'll just open up the NHL app real quick. So we got about another 7:45 before we get back into our featured contest. So Vancouver's got it in behind the net of Montembeault's cage right now. It's Podkolzin and Bo Horvat and Connor Garland. That's one of the lines that they have right there. Is Sportsnet's trying to go through the lines. They're really just trying to get underway here. But I want to get a chance over this last few minutes. We go to our featured game You get to see Ethan Bear now on the Vancouver side, as there was just a small trade there to try to address some depth. Again, remember Vancouver got off to the awful start, and they've been able to win a couple games since then. But again, you have Elias Pettersson, Bo Horvat, Thatcher Demko. I know Oliver Ekman-Larsson's not the same guy, but you still got Quinn Hughes as well. You got a lot of talent on this squad, and I think there's a lot of pressure even on Bruce Boudreau now. With the Bruce there it is, like it was from last year. They got to figure this out. And Montreal got the win the other night against the Detroit Red Wings. I watched my team lose in overtime. So back-to-back here for Montreal, and we'll see how they do against Vancouver. And they got the one-shot, one-goal against Thatcher Demko. Todd Colson's going to hold near the right side dot as this goes back to the blue line side and deflected on a play.
It was the other way around. Thatcher Demko played the first part of the back-to-back. Spencer Martin got the second. They decided to switch it around. Spencer Martin was very good last night in Ottawa, but he got in, as you said, a quick goal in the first minute. Thatcher Demko would like to follow that script and settle down.
So Thatcher Demko is 131 in goals against at 424, and a save percentage of 863 on the road. And both of these teams between Vancouver and Montreal are coming off back-to-backs. So we'll see how that one goes. And we'll be right back.
Now on the far side, Pearson. Behind the goal, Messer comes out of the back end, trying to get a shot away, triple to the crease, and that by Montour for another face-off in the Montreal zone. Mike Hoffman was in kind of a drought. He's gone 5 games without a goal, and last night in Detroit, go to the net, bang, rebound, Brendan Gallagher. Off Billy Yusso's pad, same situation, off Billy Yusso's pad, right to Mike Hoffman, but there he is, going to the net. And that's what he does. That's what he's getting paid for, being a sniper. And just 1 goal in the first 10 games. Canadians get the puck. Caulfield from center, jumps into the Vancouver zone. After Larson, walks by Suzuki. Around to McKayev, puck held in the blue line. McKayev got a piece of now Suzuki across, intercepted by Kuzmenko. And he's able to play the puck to center before he was struck by Dave Cooley. Broken up by Colson at center. Now the puck on the stick of Garland. Just on the side, says Ron. And the quarterback who did. Garland up off the side of the goal. Cooley trees it up to Suzuki. Required Caulfield into the middle. Cooley shoots. On a stick save. And the defender jumped up on that play. Here's Monahan. Kirby Dock. He's checked. On Colson, plays the puck across. Bo Horvat takes it off. 5 minutes into the first, 1-0 Montreal, and a power play goal by Nick Suzuki. Donald lost his stick. He had to go retrieve it as the Ducks start out of their own zone. Oglander into the Montreal end, the right wing, overskated the puck. Goes after it again. Monahan able to free it up to the side. And it's played out to center ice by Jonathan Kovacevic. Jack Rathbone is back for me.
All right. All right, I'm back. We're going to flip back to our game now. It's still 1-0 Montreal at the lead over Vancouver. We're going to flip back to our game, though, between Florida and Carolina. Next week's schedule is probably going to be a little bit different because I'm going to try to mix in some college basketball and stuff as well. I know it's early throughout the year, but try to get everything else in. Maybe I'll cover my alma mater, Oklahoma University from Rogers Drills, Michigan. We'll see what ends up happening with that and what I want to do with it. Definitely have to keep the cough drop ready, though, because I'm struggling here today. I'll tell you that. So we definitely will get Saturday's contest in. So that's either going to be, I believe, Flames Jets with Cooper Hopkins. So we'll have a two-man booth. We'll mix off between play-by-play and color, or it'll be Red Wings and LA Kings by my own. That's going to be on Saturday. I will be back on there between Twitter Spaces and YouTube for sure, 100%. That'll be between 10 Eastern or 10:30 Eastern on that side if anyone wants to hang out and stay up late. You know, I think it's funny. I will say this: is they're showing some ads before we get back into our game between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. Why is everybody on earth poo-pooing an 8-0 start here for the Eagles? I don't care about who you beat. You're 8-0. What are we doing, folks? I mean, where you take the ones you can get them. This is NFL, Christ's sake. Anywhere you can get them. You get up to a good start, you get up to a good start. Regardless of whether or not you win a Super Bowl is a whole other thing entirely. Get into the playoffs. You're doing yourself a great service by being 8-0. I don't understand that argument. We're going to begin set for puck drop here in the second period. Again, your reset. It's Annti Raanta on goal with Spencer Knight. Raanta gave up one. It was Nick Cousins off of a Montour shot. He's all alone in front of the rebound. No Carolina Hurricane in sight. It's 1-0. Back underneath the official action now, as it's a chance for the Carolina Hurricanes. Quick shot against Spencer Knight, but it got blocked out in front. So the Florida Panthers will be attacking left to right across your radio dial in this period, and the Carolina Hurricanes right to left. Panthers trying to keep this alive near the left side face-off dot. Now played around the left side red line is Montour. We'll get this in deeper. Bennett trying to get around Jesperi Kotkaniemi and Jacob Slavin. Picked up now. I think we are going to get our first penalty of the contest. This is going to be a trip against Carolina, and we'll see if this is going to be on. I think it's Jacob Slavin tripping Sam Bennett. So the referee's microphone, there it is. It wasn't working there for a moment. We got a high sticking penalty. They say it looked like a tripping on the side of it, but again, I think it's the same iteration of who's going to be in there. So Martinook comes together, and that's what I saw. So there was a trip. I saw that first. I did not see the high stick in there for Martinook. So didn't call the trip. They called the high stick. Face-off is won there by Florida, but picked up by Carolina. And they get this one down the ice. So first bit of adversity on the kill side. Carolina just 77% on the kill, but Florida is about 73%. So both of these teams not doing so well to be able to kill with the extra man, and we'll see how this one goes. Again, normally Carolina is usually about an 80%. Big block there by Stahl, as he was able to sprawl all the way out there off an open net for a chance for to get it right past Annti Raanta, and Stahl kicked it with his skate and able to knock that one away as this gets cleared down the ice. So Montour has a chance now, and it's a shame on me trying to do color at the same time. Sometimes you screw up, and it's a part of a call. So here's a chance for Barkov. He puts this around the outside of the cage and gets this one back. Nice stick handle, and there's Montour, keeps it alive. Lindell has it toward the right side faceoff dot as this gets chipped down, but still picked up by Gudis. Now Lindell. Now Montour fakes the slapper, holds to the high slot, looking for a deflection. This goes right into the breadbasket by Raanta. He didn't have to move. He just gloved and located it and held on for the faceoff. 50 seconds left to go in the Florida power play. We'll show this previous one. It was Sam Reinhart in behind the net. And what a block by Jordan Staal just to try to get a piece of it again. And I think Raanta also might have got a piece of it with a glove. So that bounced off Staal and Raanta as he made the glove save. Jesus. Picked up now by Florida as they keep this alive, and now they can't hold the blue line, so this goes back to Forsling. Forsling now with Bennett. This Florida trying to get settled on their first power play. 30 seconds left to go, still in it. This is going to go back to Raanta. He's just going to pinball this back in behind his net. Sometimes you want to clear that one forward and not behind, as the massive humanity now is near the right side red line. Florida locates Forsling, gets the pass across, fires the bomb right into the catching glove of Raanta. So good job on the kill by the guy that needs to kill it, the goalie. Big couple saves there for Annti Raanta, a couple flashy glove saves, and a couple rebounds were pretty tough there. Florida's power play looked pretty good so far from the first of it. Paul Maurice, 783, 686, 99, and 131. Again, I should reiterate the first one, 686, 99, 31 in the sense of the record, because the first one is games played. Sometimes they show that too much, and they don't need to. Forsling gets this one here as it bounced off the outside of the post. Left post is that. It's still with the Panthers right now. Forsling Barkov lets it go again. Now they're saved by Raanta. The last shot before that bounced off the top of the left bar by Barkov. And then the next shot from Forsling back to Barkov went right in the breadbasket of Raanta. Right off the outside of the bar, right on the left post. So that was a good-looking heat-seeking wrist shot, but just a little too high. But again, that's exactly what you would take there if you're Paul Maurice. You got a consistent amount of good firing, good traffic in net, a good power play that might not end up scoring, but if they can repeat that again, you would imagine Florida can make this 2-0. Another face-off win by Florida. They've been dominating that market with Forsling. And Raanta doesn't know where it is. This is near the right side red line now, picked up near the face-off dot as Necas can't get it out. Still has a chance for Forsling as he pokes this one ahead. Sam Reinhart also in there as well. Alexander Barkov will collect for Montour. Montour now with Reinhart as this is picked up by Jordan Martinook. Martinook trying to get this one off the right side red line. Now through center ice. Picked up now by Sam Bennett. Bennett, one-on-one. He gets worked off nicely there by Slavin as he used the body and the stick to knock the puck away. Andrei Svechnikov knocks down Barkov, and Svechnikov takes his seat as it gets picked up now by Radko Gudas. Reinhart lost it there momentarily, went back to Gudis, and this is down back down the zone where Dylan Coghlan can pick this up for Rod Brennemore's squad. Cleared in. Spencer Knight will calmly play this to Radko Gudas, and the Florida Panthers will now try to go left or right across your radio dial. It was a dangerous power play. They look pretty good on. But Florida can't change. They ice it. 16:29 left to go in the second. It's still 1-0 Florida Panthers, courtesy of Nick Cousins at the 9:21 mark. That power play, though, was pretty dangerous. They had about 5 shots on goal. Raanta was able to meet all of those. Plus, he got some help from his friend, which is the left side post, to still keep this 1-0. 18 shots to 10 in favor of Florida as well, but they have the lead on the scoreboard 1-0. Face-off win. Chatfield shot deflects. This goes right to Stefan. Moisen also trying to get in there as well for Carolina. Picked up now by Drury. Drury tried to throw it right back to Moisen. Jalen Chatfield will keep this in deep. It's the fourth and third line, respectively, between offense and defense. Chatfield going to let this go for the bomb. Blocker to side there by Spencer Knight. Still with the Hurricanes right now. So they got this near the left side red line. Picked up now. Drury. Chatfield will crisscross. Center a backhand that was dangerous, but nobody was there for Carolina. But good work there by Chatfield to poke check and keep it in. Drury. His cross pass. Still kept in there by Chatfield. As now Florida can finally reset. And now here's a chance for Luosterainen. Across the red line side, Jalen Chatfield, absolutely incredible shift to keep that in about 3 different times for Carolina to give them chances. and now the puck is ice. So Carolina can't change with 15:30 left to go in the second period. John Ott here with you from FLA Live Arena. I'm watching on the Valley Sports Florida feed. It's a 1-0 lead for the Florida Panthers over the Carolina Hurricanes. Again, I know it's an early season contest, but these are two teams that you would expect to do heavy damage. Again, if the playoffs started today, Florida would be out of it right now. Carolina would be the third seed in the Metro behind the Islanders and the New Jersey Devils. Who would have ever thought that? As a defensive faceoff win by Carolina, trying to get this across the Panthers logo, and the Panthers will get it down across the blue line side. This finds Reinhart. Got to be quick about it though. As Kotkaniemi trying to locate it there was Stahl. Stahl for the Florida Panthers side of it again, and said Mark Stahl will pick this one up. As he'll go all the way back, Spencer Knight plays it to Stahl now. Has to play quickly now to try to find Nick Cousins. Nick Cousins, he's going to go ahead and take his change instead as this goes all the way back to Annti Raanta. So it's Brady Skjei and Brett Pesce right now for Rod Brandemore's squad as the second line defense again there, combined plus 16, which is the best in the NHL right now, as you'd expect. These guys aren't relied on to do a whole bunch of offensive work, but they shut down all the other team's best forwards. And the Carolinas have to do some offensive work because they're down 1-0 on the scoreboard. They have just 12 shots with 14:30 left to go in the second. Aho lost it. Svechnikov trying to find it as Jesperi Kotkaniemi. This gets knocked away from him and across the red line now where Carolina can safely dump this in without taking an icing. And Spencer Knight, that was a little dangerous in between Aho and Slavin tries to join in as well as this gets dumped down the ice. This puck is just bouncing all through the neutral zone right now. And these two teams are largely in a neutral zone battle right now. If it wasn't for the in between the legs pass from Luosterainen to Montour, and then a shot by Nick Cousins off an all-alone rebound, this could easily be a 0-0 game. I would say even through the second period. Again, we have a 13:45 left to go in there, but this just seems like a defensive struggle right now between two teams that are a little afraid to do too much and get beat on the other side of it. But Florida doesn't look like the same team that they did last year. Injuries a little bit aside as we get an icing, but still that up and down pace, and even to the point, let's say Florida gives up 3-4 goals, you always think they come back like they did last year, especially in the third period. I don't know if this is that same team, but again, they are missing Matthew Tkachuk and Anthony Duclair. I don't think you can easily replace that right now. Matthew Tkachuk only for a couple more games off the suspension for hitting Jonathan Quick in the face in the Sunday game. So defensive zone faceoff loss picked up now by Florida. This is a chance at a 4-on-3. Drop pass, wrist shot, big rebound out in front. Raanta able to fight it off with the right pad. And Jesperi Kotkaniemi has it now. He plays this, and this cross pass was just hopeful there. Luckily, there was not a call if you're Carolina. Now I think there is. It's going to be on Marty Necas for a tripping. I think that has to be pretty clear. And he said some words that we can't repeat on that side. He's going to be going to the box. Florida is going to be on their second power play when we return. 13:20 left to go in the middle stanza. Florida up 1-0. So again, stupidly forgot to put the recorder on. When we come back in from the action, Marty Necas will be going back to the box. 13:20 left to go in the second period. Florida is still up 1-0 as it's been a defensive battle, continuous. Let's update you a little bit on the scoreboard side.
We work through the night preparing our split for Black Friday savings all through November. And what you do next is always fantastic because you have the tools to make your holiday the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Buckle up, NBA fans, because the best to ever do it.
So Montreal, ever since I switched this one back to our featured contest, they're all over Vancouver right now. They got a 3-0 lead, so good for them on the back-to-back side of it. About to be scoreless to the end of the first between Pittsburgh and Washington. For your NHL side of it, the only other game that'll still be left to play is just a 4-game night is Minnesota and Anaheim. That'll puck drop about 10 p.m. on TNT side.
I just think Kotkaniemi, this is time to play chip and chase.
Celtics got a 29-21 lead over the Pistons. We'll get back into our basketball scores here. 38-29 lead over the Jazz, with the Hawks. The Jazz are going to go 10-3 on the season. My goodness. So Florida's got another power play that Carolina's going to have to deal with. Marty Necas got called for tripping. And again, he's one of the guys that you don't want to go to the box because he's one of the guys that actually brings the offensive effort there to the utmost extreme. He's been excellent. So Eric Stahl was able to try to fight all the way through between Stefan on the short-handed side and Spencer Knight had to make a glove save. So now Florida will go ahead, left to right across your radio dial, get set up here in the second power play. The first power play did not score, but they looked really good on it. So this is picked up now by Florida as Barkov trying to get a piece of it with Lindell. Now Sam Reinhart will play this back to defense, and this goes all the way back. Spencer Knight will watch this one as Lindell will go back and pick this up again as you go between the four forwards and the one defenseman that you usually get on the power play side. Verhaeghe played it lazily there, and Aho was able to get a stick on it. So Carolina's penalty kill on this part of it has looked a lot better. They haven't even allowed Florida to get a shot just yet. Verhaeghe has it now. Montour couldn't find it, and a pass just was lazily again intercepted as this goes back to Spencer Knight. Brandon Montour will be the power play quarterback. He's the lone defense now. He's going to leave it here for Sam Bennett. Sam Bennett finds the entry as he gets it near the left faceoff dot. This is put around the kick plate. And now Rocco Gudis has to get to it as this gets dumped down the ice again. So this Florida power play for part two is not looking like the same one that it did before in the first part where they hit the post in about 5 shots against Raanta. They don't even got a chance to get a clean entry and get in the zone. And now they bounce it off of themselves as Rocco Gudis and Sam Bennett have a little bit of miscommunication. And now we go through the red line again. Panthers just trying to find an entry here as their power play is down to 5 seconds, and Carolina clears this one down. That was much ado about nothing. That was not good. If you're Florida on that side, for as good as the first one is, you give that one an F-. So picked up now by Forsling. Gudis. Stretch pass to Stahl, but I guess the F-, maybe I shouldn't say that because they didn't give up a short-handed goal. But that's about the only thing that could have been worse. Stahl, Pesce, and Necas near the left side dot as this goes all the way back, and this will be iced. So Carolina can't change, and we'll see what happens right now for Florida for a chance to get something going. They couldn't do anything on the second power play. We'll see if they can continue with it. 10-57 left to go in the second period. John Ott here with you. 19 shots to 12. Florida's got the 1-0 lead, courtesy of Nick Cousins at the 9-11 mark. Face-off is going to have to be redrawn here. That's going to be Stahl and Lindell, the captain here for Carolina. And Jordan Stahl on the third line nowadays, but still very, very good as this Carolina depth is also very good. But again, you don't have Vincent Trocheck from last season because now he's on the New York Rangers. And I just seen this go across the screen again for the Pacific side of it. The Seattle Kraken have 18 points on the Pacific side. As we're back underneath our action right now, this gets cleared down the ice. There's a chance for Dylan Coughlin, and he's going to pick up the ice. So 10-33 left to go in the second period. John here with you, commentating from FLA Live Arena on ESPN Plus. Is Carolina Hurricanes and the Florida Panthers. Again, Carolina 8-3-1 on the season. Florida 7-5-1. Both these teams have been playing a very road-heavy schedule. So now it's a chance for Florida to actually get a couple of home games. But again, most of their home games, it's not really going to happen until December for most of these squads, as they will make up all this stuff. Because again, it's 82 games for everybody, but it's funny how the season splits will hit. So Slavin, Aho. Aho's going to drop this one to Svechnikov, and what a back check there by Colin White just to knock that one away. That could have been a clear opportunity for Aho, and Svechnikov has worked over the puck was Dylan Coughlin. This is in behind Spencer Knight's office as this is crisscrossed in between Sheffield and Coughlin and right into the catching glove of Spencer Knight as he makes the save. We get immediate timeout. We just hit the 10-minute marker of the second period, 9:57 left to go. 1-0 Florida, still with the lead.
was a night at the Home Depot. Every location, a night in our stores, see a grand transformation. We bring out the tools you really do need, like snowmen and streamlights and plenty of trees. We work through the night preparing our splitter for Black Friday savings all through November. And what we do next is always fantastic because we have the tools to make your holiday easy. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Buckle up, NBA fans, because the best to ever do it are back. That was amazing.
Hi, I'm Cindy. Welcome to my dorm room. This is my walk-in closet / vanity. This is very nice. A lot. Every dorm needs a kind vanity maker.
Come on, Mr. Cedric, focus. Jimmy Fox, what's up, my man? What up, Barry? Got time to chat, Ben? Yeah. All right, you got set. Oh, there you go. Mm-hmm. Yeah, parlay time. What'd you put? Miami in with.
Oh, it's Alabama. All right, buddy.
Halfway point. I just think that this is a really impressive crowd. Marduk, Stallings, and Fox. They haven't played a ton. We'd all love to produce more offensively, but look at those ranks defensively. Really impressive. Mike Kelly, who I think has a real potential on analytics, was scoring out. They want to work with the NHL network. You don't have anyone near as much control tonight as say you will tomorrow against what brought the Edmonton Oilers with last change. That's really impressive from those two.
Like one of the best in the business when it comes to analytics. Teams will win the draw, back to punch. Slavin's drive.
Brent Burns off Slavin's drive. That goes just wide. Again, I didn't know that was Alec Malvin on this after the Twitter Spaces. I could have had him join in there if we wanted to do the call. I wish he would have asked. But this is a chance for Slavin as this is picked up now between Aho's side. Slavin gets a piece of it with Brent Burns. Off the backhand side, Stahl will race here for Slavin. Slavin able to try to win it there momentarily with Aho able to stay on side. And now Sebastian Aho will get this one in deep for Slavin. Aho back there with Andrei Svechnikov. Svechnikov trying to work off of Brandon Montour. Centered it out in front. This is going to be picked up by Brent Burns into the traffic. Big save by Spencer Knight. He's knocked down. And now the Carolina Hurricanes have said they scored, but hold on just a minute here. As I think he was bumped into, and this is going to be maybe an interference, and we'll see what it's going to be here. Spencer Knight was knocked down. And I'm not quite sure just yet. Again, I don't want to make anything definitive because it definitely did not look definitive. When Brent Burns was able to keep that one near the left side blue line, Rob Brandamore is furious. He wants the goal, obviously. The refs immediately conferred. Brent Burns fired the shot immediately through traffic. Spencer Knight looked like he got bumped into and got knocked down. No chance for him to be able to make that save, and that's what the refs are going to have to infer and figure out at this point right now. So Aho cross-checks, and yeah, Andrei Svechnikov looks like he cross-checked Verhaeghe and hit Spencer Knight. So I don't see any way on the second bar. Let me get another look at it. I don't see any way that you would even call this a goal because Spencer Knight got cross-checked pretty much by Svechnikov, knocked him in his own man and Verhaeghe, and then there really is. That should be definitive there at the 9-11 marker of the second. So I don't see how. Again, 9:21 was the goal for Nick Cousins in the first. I don't see how that would even count. So they don't even need to do anything else in the third. We're going to get another offensive zone draw here by Carolina, as that goal definitely was not going to count. And now we're back underway. 9 minutes left to go in the second. John Ott with you from FLA Live Arena, watching on the ESPN Plus between Carolina and Florida. 20 shots for Florida, 1 goal. Skjei fires one out in front. And this gets a chance for Montour to try to pick this one up. He's got to spin all the way back in his own end. As Carolina was buzzing a little bit. It's knocked off between the red line now as Brett Pesce will get this one. And Brady Skjei off the backhand side. Picked up now by Necas momentarily. As this gets picked up now by Montour. And then cleared down the ice. So Florida still with a 1-0 lead There's not been a lot to talk about as far as goals between these two teams because these two teams want to play that good defensive style game. But Carolina, I will say this, I'd like to see a little bit more offensive push from them. You can't just continually try to clear everything down at the backhand, not even try to skate this thing in. I haven't seen enough of an offensive push here for the Hurricanes. Listerine got hooked a little bit there by Burns as Verhaeghe has this now off the backhand side near the right dot. He's going to crisscross him behind the net as Spencer Knight trying to pick this one back up as Coghlan lost it. And now it's a 3-on-4 developing. Carolina's got 4 back as Coghlan fights off his man, Sam Bennett, off the backhand. This gets gloved down by Jalen Chatfield alertly and then played ahead right to left across the radio dial for Jesper Foss. Now there's Chatfield. Chatfield's just going to fire one around the kick plate now for Jordan Martinook. Martinook being worked off the puck, and then he got bumped by Racco Gudas. Picked up now by the Canes as they get this one. There's a chance now for Chatfield as he lets another one go. And now it's off to the races here. Big save, Raanta. He got pushed in the net, did Balsers and Lundqvist. Now Cousins comes together. So it's Lambert had the breakaway shot in on Raanta, and that looked like that should have never developed. That was just a quick seam pass that beat everybody, including your broadcaster. So Lambert, Burns, they're off to the races there. And Burns, I don't think did enough with the stick, although Burns got a little bit extracurricular pushing Lambert into the net. But Raanta was able to stay right where he needed to be and made a good save. So no doubt, Annti Raanta, I would say, has been on his game. That one goal against him, against Nick Cousins, I don't think that was on Annti Raanta in the sense of it. That was just a shot there that was played by Montour through the traffic, and then it must have caught everybody by surprise on the Carolina side because nobody picked up Nick Cousins for the one goal. And that's what we got right now with 7:17 left to go in the second period. So now Lindell has a chance to get the draw, but it's a loss, and it's one on the defensive side by the Carolina Hurricanes as they get this one to the red line side. Picked up now, Reinhart is he's going to spin off the backhand. Great play, Lindell. He's going to skate right in into the traffic. This goes off the outside of the cage. I thought Lindell probably should have just taken that one outright. Get a chance to make Raanta make the glove save, but he peeled in too close, and the shot got blocked him off the outside of the cage. So now Lindell will pick this back in, but they're offside as long as Verhaeghe went too early. 6:49 left to go in the second. Still 1-0, courtesy of the Florida Panthers and Nick Cousins. 21 shots to 15 for the Panthers as well. When we get to the second, I'll give you some score resets and some stat resets as well as far as what we got going on. It's been a good contest, I would say, in between both, but I'd like to see a little bit more push there from Carolina. 15 shots. I know Florida's a good team, but not the same team as they've been. I think that's absolutely unacceptable for Carolina on that side of it. So picked up now by Florida, and the offensive end as this goes back to Montour. Montour is going to play this one ahead as Barkov will crisscross there with Colin White, and this gets picked up by Montour as it gets gloved down. And we'll pick back up on our depth chart side of it. White has it now. Verhaeghe trying to get a piece of it. Now back with White as he spins off the backhand side. Picked up now by Slavin. Slavin's just going to casually put this off the kick plate. It's down to 6:05 left to go in this middle stanza. Still a 1-0 scoreline for Florida as a broken twig is near the middle of the Panthers logo and the players bench. So the players got to be careful. Offside against Florida. 6:01 left to go in the second. So now we're back to the same part that we talked about through the beginning of our contest. And you might have heard some of the call. It's been a little bit of stop and start. It's kind of been some transmission issues here between the car. Need some oil, need a little bit of else, need a little bit of gas as well, because these two teams picking it up a little bit. They need to. I would definitely say that they need to pick it up. So Jesperi Kotkaniemi, he's trying to find it in his own end now as Florida wins yet another draw. They are absolutely dominating on that end of it as they're trying to make this a 2-0 lead. But Carolina, they're not letting that happen so much, but in the sense of Carolina needs to get their offense going. Big blocker save, Raanta, and now 5:35. A penalty is upcoming, and we'll see who it's going to be on. Come right back. I think Carolina might be going to their first power play of the contest.
statues to be built. To know that these guys, this moment, is special. Or maybe you already see it. More speed, more skill, more than ever before. So, when you let this golden bear pass you by, or whether you say, yeah, I saw it, I was there.
Alexis, turn it up.
Lexus RX. Never lose your edge.
Hi, son. Honey,
Yeah.
I respect that, but that cough looks pretty bad. Try this Robitussin, honey.
The real honey you love, plus the powerful cough relief you need.
Mind if I root for your trash?
Robitussin, the only brand with real honey and elderberry.
You make the holidays happen, and that requires energy. Maybe interest you in the portable, pillowy, pancakey kind? Introducing the delicious new Pancake Wake Up Wrap. America runs on dumpling.
Ironic. Edelman's struggling with reception. You need a better network. And Verizon's new Welcome Unlimited plan for just $30 a line.
Verizon for $30?
Yeah.
That's
Everyone can get Verizon for just $30 a line.
5:35 left in the second. Derek Stepan in the penalty box strip for this.
Fourth line versus fourth line, and Eric Stahl draws the call. Stick on the hands right there. Underneath, and it came over top on the hands. And Carolina's had two big games here in this second period. They're going to need another one.
Third time here in the second period.
So Carolina is going to go to the box again. This is Eric Stahl. So now Florida has got their third power play of the contest. They have not scored on the previous two. Still 1-0. 22 shots for Florida, 15 shots for Carolina. And now Carolina, again, you can say that their offense has been a little subdued because of the amount of penalties they've had to kill in the second, which is fair. But you would expect in the third period, if they don't make a little bit of a push, I think this would be a game that would be a complete wash, regardless if it's a low-scoring affair or not. You just saw nothing from the Carolina offense. But again, they've got to stop taking penalties. They're taking 3 in the second period after it was completely clean for both teams in the first. So Florida finally gets an offensive zone entry here with 1:10 left to go, but they can't hold the blue line. So the second power play and the third power play look about the same right now as Barkov. Now for Reinhart. Reinhart back to Barkov. Now Verhaeghe tries to get a piece of it as well. And Aho tried to play this in between 3 different adversaries and still gets the puck down the ice. So great work there by Sebastian Aho. Just be able to fight through the traffic and get that clear. Now Montour. He gets it in deep. Nice play there, Verhaeghe, off of the wrist shot. What a save there by Raanta with the glove. As he was able to get all the way in there, get a big shot off, and Raanta made a flashy glove save. 43 seconds left to go in the Florida power play. It's their third of the game right now. Still 1-0, courtesy of Nick Cousins. So that was Bennett off the glove save there. I need to get some of my personnel in order. Excuse me here. So this gets picked up by Lister Ryan, and the pass across the defensive teammate gets knocked away. And now this goes back to 30 seconds. Good steal there by Jesper Foss. Jesper Foss is being worked over by 3 different Florida Panthers as we're down to 4 minutes left to go in the second period. Foss will get this one back in behind the cage, and now Florida able to intercept this. Spencer Knight had a look, and now Florida trying to get their breakout. But this power play been much ado here about nothing, just like it was before, with the exception of the shot there by Bennett. Down to 5 seconds now. Florida's probably going to go 0 for 3 on this power play. They got 2 seconds left to go to shoot it, and they ran out of power play time, so we're back to even strength. And now here's a chance for Jordan Stahl in the box to actually get to this right now. Holding off the backhand near the right dot. As Foss has this one now. Stahl trying to get there as well. Picked up now by Jalen Chatfield. As Gudis will intercept, and Florida can try to break out left to right. Sam Bennett will get this one in deep. This finds the goal stick of Annti Raanta. And now Carolina will go right to left across your radio dial, or at least attempt to. There's not been a lot of that right now. Seth Jarvis. Andrei Svechnikov gets blocked aside there by Spencer Knight, just trying to get a shot on goal. And I don't blame Carolina at this point. Dylan Coghlan Can't hold it in. As this goes all the way back to Sebastian Aho off the back check. He was the last man back there. And again, that's what you're sending him to do sometimes, play that good 200-foot game. Jarvis, big time hit on the other end. Big shot by Coughlin with a screen in front for Svechnikov. As this gets gloved down. Now here's a chance for Coughlin. He's got to win the race, and he does win the hybrid icing. Verhaeghe just kind of watched it go by. I think he was running out of gasoline there. So 2:34 left to go in the second period. John Ott with you from FLA Live Arena. It's finally a home game here for the Florida Panthers. They're 4-5-1 on the road. Haven't had a lot of home games to speak of, but you can also say the same thing for the Carolina Hurricanes. They got another one on the road. This is another opportunity for us to check two teams in the Eastern Conference that you would predict to be playoff teams, but again, that just remains to be seen because Florida's been a little beat up. So offensive zone face-off win. As they're going to work this through the overhead camera near the high side blue line now. Marty Necas turns, fires into the traffic just a little wide. Here's a chance for Pesce to collect. And behind the office, Skjei gets his slap shot blocked. It bounces right back to him, and he gloves it down. So Balcer's blocked it. Skjei gets it now. Skjei gets this one deep and across the red line side, and this is picked up by Spencer Knight. Spencer Knight will leave it with Verhaeghe as we have a minute 55 left to go in the second period. Sam Reinhart off the backhand trying to dipsy doodle around Brett Pesce and three other players here as this gets picked up now by Necas. Necas now off the backhand. Brett Pesce still working with it. Dump down the ice. And is this going to be iced? Yes, it is. Stahl will get there first before Jarvis. So $1:39 left to go in the second stanza. It's a low-scoring game right now between Florida and Carolina. It's 1-0. Again, Nick Cousins scored the one goal in the first. That's where we are right now. 23 shots to 16 in favor of the Panthers as well. And what's also in favor of the Panthers is power play opportunities, but they're 0 for 3. And they've won a lot of draws all the way across the board. And between the offensive zone, the neutral zone, they have a chance to do so again right now. Try to pressure Annti Raanta, and they do. But good flip out ahead there by Carolina. Svechnikov puts this into the players' bench. So we're going to get a neutral zone draw. $1:36 left to go. John Ott with you from FLA Live Arena doing the commentary between the Florida Panthers and the Carolina Hurricanes. You can follow along on Twitter Spaces this evening or the YouTube side. I humbly appreciate anyone else that's bounced in and out tonight. Barkov trying to get this one off a stall as bodies come together, and now a race for the puck as Burns trying to put the Jets on. Again, he's getting a little bit long in the tooth, but when a chance when you get yourself hustled for the puck like he is, a good captive veteran, you're going to find it there when you get a chance to get to it. Verhaeghe tries to pick it up now as this goes back to the defensive side for Brandon Montour. Montour with an extra pass now for Bennett. Bennett will go back and pick this one up with Barkov. Montour has to get back on his horse as Jesperi Kotkaniemi's all over him, trying to hold off the backhand. Kotkaniemi almost gets the steal, and now he does. He gets knocked down on his heavily padded wallet alongside with a couple of Florida Panthers, and now Slavin. Burns can pass this one across as Jesperi Kotkaniemi will get this one in deep and then finally take a change to the fourth line side. There's Drury now with Stefan. Slap shot there for Slavin, looking for a redirection, but it bounced off one of the Florida Panthers instead. So Panthers penalty, that's going to be their first of the game. Carolina's already had 3, and now Carolina, if they're smart with this, I would take as much time as they possibly could. At least have this bleed into the third period. Svechnikov, extra pass out with a one-timer. And Spencer Knight right to the 5-hole. Kind of just aiming at that spot, didn't try to pick corners or anything else. Carolina is going to get a power play with 24.5 seconds left to go in the middle stanza. We'll see who this is going to be on. So chip and chase, as they're talking about, for what they would want to have. So Drury lets one go. Burns hits it off the kick play with Martinuk, and I want to see where the penalty is because they're talking about why you do that. They're just saying good plays here by Carolina, but I haven't seen the penalty just yet. So let's look at it really quickly. It is Brandon Montour going to be going to the box. So first line defense right now, the best one at that. Shot right across, goes way up and out of play. Svechnikov through the screen. It might have hit Knight and went out of play. So 20 seconds left to go in the second period. John Ott with you from FLA Live Arena. We'll see if the Carolina Hurricanes can make anything happen in the second period It's 1-0 still courtesy of the Florida Panthers, and there's not been a lot to talk about as far as the offensive game. Burns keeps this in. Aho plays this out in front for Neusen, and that one goes just wide as he was in point blank and he missed it, shot it high. Brent Burns will get the pass down to the neutral zone, but that's how we end the second. Still 1-0. Florida Panthers got the lead, but they have to kill the penalty to start the third. Come right back. We'll call third period action in a little bit.
Intelligent technology, courageous performance, exploring a world of possibilities in all new Lexus RX. Never lose your edge. There's a night at the home at every location. A night in our stores. See a grand transformation. We bring out the tools you really do need, like snowmen and streamlets and plenty of trees. We work through the night preparing our splinter for Black Friday savings all through November. And what you do next is always fantastic because we have the tools to make your holiday easy. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
You make the holidays happen, and that requires energy. Maybe interest you in the portable, billowy, pancakey kind? Introducing the delicious new Pancake Wake-Up Wrap. America runs on Dunkin'.
This book has helped me reach so many young homeowners who have become their parents.
What's the last good go on one of these mugs? Well, remember, Verhaeghe stores.
Yeah, chapter 6. They may have read the book, but they still have a long way to go.
Hope we get your John Ott.
Let's just call it signature.
I noticed there weren't any refreshments, so I'm just gonna leave a couple of snacks.
Folks, the line's a shambles. Let's tuck it in. Sir?
Come on. Come on.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Progressive can protect you from becoming your parents, but we can't protect your home. Home Depot with us.
We don't need a line monitor.
This is the biggest bonus of the summer. This is the biggest bonus of the summer. If you ain't coming, it's a bonus.
Inside FLA Live Arena where the Canes trail 1-0 still after the first 40 minutes of hockey. Now joined by Canes forward Jack Drury. Jack, you got the call up on Monday. It's not your first taste with this team, but what kind of goals have you set for yourself this season?
I think just play hard, be present, one day at a time. I think that's the organization message.
This morning, Rod Brady talked about the strength in your ability to play a two-way game. What kind of emphasis have you placed on that?
A lot. I think there's a lot of good guys on this team to look up to. Obviously, Jordan, the way he plays, but just be good on both ends of the ice.
Down by one, heading into the third with a power play opportunity. What's the importance of capitalizing there?
It's big. I think we trust our power play. We know that we'll get some chances, and then after that, we got to put on the pressure.
Thanks, Jack. Congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you.
Coming up next, Chuck Tracy gives us a history lesson on Eric Staal and his impact in the organization. That's next.
Okay, so I got some of the notes typed in for second period, but there's no goals to speak of in the second period at least. There was 3 penalties on Carolina. There was 1 penalty on Florida. Carolina's going to start with the power play to begin the third period. It was 23-19 on shots after 2. Florida was able to lead 12-10 in that period. Hits, 18-15 for Florida, 8-9 edge for Carolina on that side of it. 22-17 in faceoffs, still for Florida. And then 12-11, Carolina led in that period on the faceoff side. So I just wanted to get some of those other in-depth stats because there's not a lot to talk about, because there's not a lot to speak as far as offense. The other two penalties that Carolina had to kill off, they did so pretty easily. And every time Carolina gets the puck in the zone, it's just more of the dump and chase. They're not trying to do anything else happening as far as skating in the zone. So you're not seeing that for Carolina. That's why the shot totals are low. I would expect, and again, I've said this many times about Rod Brind'Amour's squad. I like Carolina. I like the way they play, but I do think at some point you have to, if you want to take that next step, not get away from what you want to do, but you have to kind of loosen that leash a little bit as far as maybe letting Aho, Teravainen, Svechnikov, and everyone else go. That's not what Rod Brind'Amour wants to do. They want to play a good, disciplined system. They're going to get you a lot of wins, but how many wins is that going to get you in the postseason? That's the question mark. So that's what we'll have to figure out as we go forward throughout our season.
That's why I chose to get vaccinated with Prevnar 20, because just one dose can help protect me from pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20 today.
At Target, you can shop with confidence knowing that if you spot
Situation there. Just fire it at the net. You just never know. It gets forced to go to make a handle.
I just flipped in while we're in the middle of our break in between Pittsburgh and Washington, and it sounds like there was a little bit of gaff there on the Washington side, able to fire one on net, and Pittsburgh able to get the goal. I'll be right back, folks.
Washington comes right back out after giving up the first goal and spends 30 seconds in the offensive zone. Bengals doing a good job defending, but they want to play it down here. Bengals would score first for the fifth straight game, but they were unable to hold on to any of those previous leads. Third of the season for Jason Tucker. Johnson can't keep it alive. 10.5 remaining in the second period. Pesce moves the puck ahead. Here comes Crosby. Rounded by Necas. Tucker from the tail of Malkin. He put Letang down right in front of Jonesy. And then as Letang was down half the way, bulldogged him while he was down, and that's one of those where you categorize a bad penalty. Good clean hard here, hit here, no problem. And then as he goes forward, right there, that's the stick up power play coming here for the Panthers.
Snake Ted's amazing.
Yeah. It was easy to pay off the low rates in the platinum card and maybe federal credit union. Can't imagine where we'd be without them.
I think you should.
Yeah.
Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
The fully electric Audi e-tron family is here. With miles of the Audi lifestyle and innovative ways to make your e-tron your own. Through elegant design and progressive technology. All inspiration and none of the compromise. The Audi e-tron family. Progress that moves you.
is Reggie Bush, dressed up as a Wendy's piggyback.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $5 piggy bank.
It's a good day to start something new. To brush away gray in 5 easy minutes. To put yourself out there and always put your best face forward. Just for men, mustache, and beard.
The Lightning Federal Credit Union Veterans Appreciation Night. Staff Sergeant Carl Carline honored at the Capitals. Salute the troops.
Legendary Rob Langway. Old captain.
Number 5 retired here in Washington. That is acquisition by General Manager side, David Boyle. All the way coming over to Montreal and became a bedrock of this franchise. Halfway in the box, second power play for the Penguins as Crosby works the puck around to Malkin. Penguins just one to the last 30 minutes with the man advantage. Miller to the puck. Just to get ahead.
Sherry coming over there. Gets him going on with his partner, man. Brady Skjei. Miller comes over. Shred the numbers, and Sherry supports as well and clears it down.
We're not getting to the loose puck. There's Rush for the Penguins. Just over a minute remaining. On the Pittsburgh man advantage. Malkin. Locked off by Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov taking the Penguins zone with Jensen and down. Taken away by Malkin. Quickly ahead for Gensel. Here's Crosby. Back for Gensel. Backhand shot off the post.
A quick little forehand, backhand shove it there by Pesce after getting it with Crosby. Also rush up the power play.
Well, we asked Mike Sullivan before the game, what are you not seeing on the power play recently? What you usually do when things are going well, he said, well, normally we score. 20 seconds. On the halfway minor. Raquel with the puck. Back out. Dietrich. Pass broke out. And the Capitals again clear. Sherry. Well, the Penguin makes the play. Heads off for the Washington bench.
They also said they've been overpassing the puck and not shooting on it enough, and that's something that's...
Got about another 5 minutes before we hit our contest. Again, Nick Cousins, lone goal from Brandon Montour and Sam Bennett. That's what it has listed. I'll make sure that that says Bennett. I'll make sure this is not. They changed the.
Cars built with safety in mind, even for those guys. Volkswagen Atlas, standard front assist.
So I just switched that. I give the tertiary assist to Sam Bennett. So Nick Cousins, Brandon Montour, Sam Bennett. Nothing in the second for either team. It's still 1-0 as we go into the third.
Taco Bell and a bit crazy with breakfast. There's too much. What you need in the morning is tasty, simple food. Eggs, sausage,
Annti Raanta has made 22 saves, given up 1. 957 save percentage. Spencer Knight, 20 saves. Hasn't given up anything yet.
Of course. You can easily get helpful customer service over the phone or on the Progressive app. Pretty much anywhere. Even at the library. Or the coffee shop. Get great customer support at the park. Or at this coffee shop. Why would you go to a different coffee shop? I will order for a day money. Thank you.
Let's get a look at the stats. Panthers made 22 saves on 23 shots. Carolina in the middle of a power play. That'll be a big key, and we'll see if they can control the slot a little bit better as they've given up 9 of those shots to the Panthers. So, third period, biggest key for you, sir.
Well, the biggest key for me is ideally you score on this power play, but either way it creates momentum, and you play your best period of the night. I think the Hurricanes, I love the chip and chase stress game. Rob always talks about the stress game that led to drawing the penalty in the first place late in that second period.
We know that it's been stormy here in this area, so hopefully the Canes can get a Hurricane inside this arena. A Taco Bell take from one trip tracing.
Well, you set the tone with the power play. Ideally, you score the way the next team, although...
Thanks for helping me out.
Of course. You can easily get helpful customer service over the phone.
Now they went to commercial right when we're about to drop the puck, so I might miss a minute of this. Hopefully not.
So it's one of these places gonna be my car again?
Right. Even at your car. Come on, I saw you eyeing these phones earlier. Huh? You get it.
Jeez.
Ironic. Edelman's struggling with reception.
2 things I hate dropping: balls and calls.
So you need a better network. And Verizon's new Welcome Unlimited plan for just $30 a line.
Verizon for $30?
Yeah, it's the best unlimited plan ever. And getting the network you want for $30?
Everyone can get Verizon for just $30 a line. And now's the time to switch, because you'll get up to $960 only on the network America relies on. Verizon.
This might be the most emotionally charged match of the modern era.
So Dr. Monty's son is all about building a community within the community.
If this stays the way that it does, hopefully again we don't miss part of the third period because it's been a long commercial right when it seems like it was going to puck drop. But Florida would get a big win, be 8-5-1 in the season. Carolina fall 8-4-1 in the sense of, right, the records look a little bit similar, but Florida be able to win a game where they got not so much offense and Carolina didn't feature any offense. So regardless of that, Florida can probably go in their back pocket and say that, well, we stopped Carolina from getting anything going. I don't know if that really is a narrative you'd want to use, but that's certainly how they'd have to feel about it. It's a big win regardless. Anytime you can beat the Hurricanes. So third period puck drop is underway. It's going to be left to right for the Carolina Hurricanes, right to left for the Florida Panthers. Burns, he gets the pass as this goes back to Jacob Slavin. Slavin looking to pass across there for Svechnikov, and this one goes down the ice. So again, it's 1:10 left to go, and the Carolina power play to begin the third. They're 24th in the NHL on the power play. They're about 18th on a penalty kill. So even with the Hurricanes at 8-3-1, they still got a lot to clean up as far as what they'd want to be at the beginning of the season. I imagine that they will. So Necas, no chance for Noisen. Aho, Svechnikov will pick this up now. Necas going to let this go through the screen. And this one bounced off of Noisen, and it's going to go into the netting. So it's going to stay here with the Carolina Hurricanes. 50 seconds left to go in their power play. They're first. Florida Panthers have had 3. And no one had scored on the extra man just yet. So offensive zone draw win. This bounces in between Brent Burns. This goes to the left side red line. Sebastian Aho will pick this up now. Svechnikov plays it past to Necas. Necas near the right dot. Necas tries to get this one back to Brent Burns, but it was thrown too far. And Annti Raanta is going to have to play this with the goal stick. If Annti Raanta does get a loss, I would put none of this on him at this point right now. But that's if the scoreline stays the way that it is with 18:45 left to go in the third and Florida up 1-0. Off of the Aho, his banks back to him. Svechnikov will get this one. Jesper Fast, Necas. Svechnikov has it now with Fast. One-timer for Necas, and I think that was almost off the bar. Picked up by Necas. Now, Jesperi Kotkaniemi with Svechnikov. Svechnikov now trying to find it, and Florida returns to full strength. Looks off the breakout pass for Brady Montour, and that's right into Ranta's breadbasket. So Florida timed that perfectly off the kill. They got Montour right out of the box. He stayed on side. He didn't elect to deke or anything else. He was all alone there against Raanta right after the outlet pass. But again, on second look, that could have been both defenders back there in between Burns and everyone else. They would have broken him quickly, so he had to shoot. But still, great design there by Florida just to be able to get a good chance right off the kill. And I think the previous shot there from Slavin just went off the bar as well. We heard a little bit of the sound as Bennett tries to find it here off the faceoff draw, and this is picked up by the Carolina Hurricanes. Now put down across the neutral zone. Now Montour trying to get to there now as this bounces off of the glove of Spencer Knight. He just got a piece of it. That maybe would have went into the net. Now here's a chance for Lundell, and he got hooked, and Raanta got hit in the face. He's down. He lost his goal stick. And now they're going to have to stop the play there. Raanta got smoked. He's checking his goal mask just to make sure everything else is okay, and he's up now and walking around a little bit in the sense of skating around, looking in. I think he got hit right in the eye, or the mask got pushed right into his right eye. 17:53 left to go in the third. The referee's talking with Barkov there just to make sure to get everything else all set up. And the trainers out there looking at Raanta. Interference called against the Florida Panthers. So it's going to put Carolina Hurricanes on a power play. So a chance off of it was Lundell. He got hooked a little bit. And then the goal stick there with Sam Bennett. I want to see what Sam Bennett did because he's the one that's going to be in the box. So I see the shot, and then Bennett just pushed. He pushed Martinook right into Raanta. Interference call, and Raanta, thankfully he's okay, but that's what ended up happening there. A little bit of friendly fire, a little push in there, push Martinook into Raanta. So now Carolina power play back underway as Burns gets us here for Necas. Slap shot, that one goes just wide. Pick back up now from Necas. Necas now has it back to Brent Burns. Burns holding near the high slot. Leaves it back for Necas with a one-timer. Another shot goes off the outside of the bar. Back with the Carolina Hurricanes. Necas still with it right now as he gets it back to Burns. Burns back to Necas. Fakes the one-timer. Good cross pass there for Svechnikov, but he couldn't locate it. Tipped out in front. Necas will pick it back up now near the left dot. Still holding. Extra pass. Aho fans on the one-timer. That was good, quick, clever design there for Rod Brendamore's power play, but Aho couldn't keep the stick on the ice. Now Necas gets to this first. It's stalled. Will intercept and now get cleared down the ice. So Carolina looked pretty dangerous there on that second power play for a moment, but we'll see how long that's going to last. As Jesperi Kotkaniemi stuck in his own end with Brent Burns. Burns with a long outlet pass. That was a little dangerous there as Jesperi Kotkaniemi somehow found it. It's Seth Jarvis. And Spencer Knight's going to play this one quickly. 16:30 left to go in the third period. John Ott with it from FLA Live Arena. There's a chance for Barkov. Short-handed off the backhand. Raanta fights it off. Barkov getting a check in there on Jarvis as Carolina can reset here left or right across your radio dial on their second power play. Going to drop this back here for the Canes. Seth Jarvis now with Jesper Fast. Fast tries to play this one ahead for Jarvis as Kotkaniemi tries to be the first to get to it. Kotkaniemi intercepts. There's a chance now for Coghlan. Coghlan gets it back. Screen in there for Teravainen. That one goes wide. Jarvis picks this up near the right dot as Kotkaniemi gets this back to the left dot. Jarvis Tries to get this around the kick play now as he's got this near the left side red line. Good work there by Barkov to intercept and clear that one down the ice. So Carolina was dangerous there for about the first minute, but not the last part of it. As this goes back in behind the office of Raanta with Dylan Coghlan. As the forwards get the change here for Carolina, it's still 1-0 Florida Panthers with the lead. Here's a chance now for Spencer Knight. Gave it away! Right in the breadbasket. Spencer Knight makes the save. That was a backhanded shot by Stahl, and that was a poor pass by Spencer Knight, but Stahl could not get anything on it, and it ended up just being another save. So if you're a goaltender, tend the goal. That's what Steve Dangle would say, and Spencer Knight almost got bit. Necas, man, that was Necas and Stefan there right to Aho, and he just couldn't get the stick on the ice with the one-time. That would have been an automatic goal. No chance for Spencer Knight would be able to make that save. He was already in the 5-hole side, and the low part of the net on the right was open. So Jordan Stahl against Sam Bennett. Stahl wins the draw, puts this around the kick plate as this is blocked off. And now Florida is going to be off sides. 15:24 left to go. I see some listeners bouncing in and out of the Twitter Spaces side. Again, I humbly appreciate that. Anyone else that wants to listen along. On the YouTube side, we are still silent here today, but again, it's a regular season game. I would expect that. So Stahl and Bennett. Stahl wins it again. Jalen Chatfield will get this in across the red line now. We'll see as we edge closer to the halfway marker of this third period of Rod Brind'Amour's squad, and Rod Brind'Amour in particular is going to let these guys push for more opportunities. Sam Bennett gets the interception against Chatfield, and Reinhart is going to try to get to us now, but Jacob Slavin able to get a piece of it now. Carolina trying to get this out of their own end as they transition into the neutral zone. Derek Stefan will get this dump in. Picked up now by Florida as Lusterinen needs some help. All sorts of bodies all over the place as Stahl gets this to Stefan now to the right dot, trying to shoot 5-hole side from a sharp angle, and it went right into Spencer Knight's glove. And now Jordan Stahl being worked over near the right side red lines. Derek Stefan going to take another look as the camera cut away. Jordan Martin came in there as well. 14:45. There was just bodies there near the right side red line. As the camera cut away, we thought there could have been a little extracurricular, but I didn't get a chance to see it because Carolina side of Valley Sports didn't show it. So John Ott here with you from FLA Live Arena. It's the 7-5 Panthers finally at home, 7-5-1, taking on the Carolina Hurricanes, 8-3-1. Fifth in the Atlantic are the Panthers. Third in the Metro are the Carolina Hurricanes. It's be a big one for Florida to get if they can get this, but still tons of time in a one-goal game. 14:35 left to go in this third period. Skjei now with Brett Pesce as Pesce will try to get this one dumped down the ice, now into the neutral zone. Gustav Forsling can get this in there and take the change or the defensive side of it, and Carolina can get this one down. No pass. That's an ice there, I should say. Forsling, he tried to clear it out in front and it bounced off to Spencer Knight. That's a little unfortunate there, but Spencer Knight actually made the save. I didn't mean to do it. They have a good laugh at it, sorry, no worries. But sometimes when you clear it and your goalie doesn't expect it, there's a chance to see it now. So Forsling, he went to clear and he fumbled on it, and this went right to the blue paint to Spencer Knight. That would have been a tough save, but Spencer Knight kept his eyes on it the whole way, and Forsling said, "My bad, man." And Knight said, "Don't worry about it. We're good." So now Aho, a chance to get the draw. He wins it clean out of Brett Pesce. Brett Pesce, and I saw it. He can let one go. He whistled it way wide. Teuvo Teravainen, he was waiting on the doorstep, and this goes now to Carter Verhaeghe. Carter Verhaeghe trying to play one ahead for Colin White. Verhaeghe intercepts, but he got stick lifted just in time. And now Versteeg will get this one in deep, and this one goes up to the players' bench, and we get immediate timeout. 13:55 left to go in the third. It's still 1-0 Florida. We'll see what ends up happening when we come right back.
More speed, more skill, more ever before. So, will you let this billionaire pass you by? Or will you say, yeah, I saw it. I was there.
will remain radioactive for years to come. Well, thank goodness it's time for the good news of the week.
And boy, do we need it. Well, this safe driver saved money with the Snapshot app from Progressive. How do you feel?
Good.
He's better than good. He got rewarded for driving safe and driving less. Sorry, Barb, just to confirm, this is the feel-good news of the week? This is what we found. Yay, Snapshot!
For the night at the Home Depot, at every location, at night in our stores, see a grand transformation. We bring out the tools you really do need, like snowmen and string lights and plenty of trees. We work through the night preparing our Splendor for Black Friday savings all through November. And what you do next is always fantastic, because we have the tools to make your holiday magic. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. A thin painted line. The only thing between you and a wet
1-0 in this third period of hockey. We talked a lot tonight about Jordan Staal and his opportunity playing against both of his brothers. This morning he told me it's a mixture of emotions, challenging at times, but he said, I look at the bigger picture.
Just a casual 3,438 NHL games played between Jordan Staal, Eric Staal, and Mark Staal. So pretty cool tonight to get all three brothers on the ice. Back underneath the action now, it's 13:45 left to go in the third as Mark Staal will pick this up in behind the cage there of Eichblad there, and Staal will play this ahead as Colin Liket's taken and knocked onto the seat. And they're going to get a penalty call up in the air, I think, against, unless they're going to call that icing instead. 13:36. I thought Colin White might have got tripped there on that side of it, but it stays in icing, and this is going to go against the Florida Panthers here. So it's Matt Kerstad with Mark Staal in third line defense here for Paul Maurice's squad. And they're still going to be out there now as they can't change. And this is picked up by Kerstad. Kerstad trying to bounce this off the kick plate. This goes back into a great move by Barkov as he was trying to buy some space on the left side red line, and Slavin will get this one, but he can't get it out. Raanta just made a pad save as he brushed it away toward the left faceoff dot. And this is picked up now by the Florida Panthers in their own end. It's Gustav Forsling and Brandon Montour as chance for Montour to take his time. And a pass was eluded, picked up back to Forsling. He's going to get this one down and dump deep. And that's going to be another icing. 29 shots apiece now, as Carolina's finally caught up on that side, but the scoreline is still 1-0 for the Florida Panthers, courtesy of Nick Cousins on the fourth line right wing side. As again, it was a chance for Montour to get a shot right on goal. Cousins was all alone right out in front. He scored. There was not a Carolina Hurricane in sight. That was 9:21 in the first, and that's still where we've been since that point. So Burns has it now with Gudis. As this is picked up now behind the cage. Staal going to let this go through a sharp angle. Jordan Staal and Spencer Knight able to fight it, make the save. 12:45 left to go in the third period. John Ott with you from FLA Live Arena. It's still a 1-0 game, courtesy of the Florida Panthers over the Carolina Hurricanes. Shot board is dead even at 30, but the score sheet is not, as the Panthers still holding on to that one-goal lead. With 12:45 left to go in this third period. Glad you can join me here from FLA Live Arena or watching on the ESPN Plus feed. So Burns fires to the screen. Big save there by Spencer Knight. He made the second one off the rebound. I believe that was off of Burns as well, as that one went off of a Carolina player. It's madness right now. Burns able to keep this in a third time, try to chip this out in front. Staal tried to play this out in front in between Slavin and Burns to try to get another slap shot, but it eluded both the defensemen. As this goes back now to Jacob Slavin. Slavin banks this one off the kick plate as Thibaut Teravainen couldn't find it. And now Gustav Forsling will go back right to across your radio dial to collect. Stefan is able to get the interception there as Drury is out there as well. Jesper Foss will get to it now. The Asperi Kotkaniemi tried to send it out in front for Stefan. He was all alone, but the pass couldn't find him. Kotkaniemi trying to get back on his horse. He knocked down one of the Florida Panthers. And this goes back to Jalen Chatfield. Jalen Chatfield trying to get around Staal. Chatfield puts this one ahead. Kotkaniemi trying to play it with Jesper Fast. And now Bolsers has to bank this off the kick plate. Florida able to find it there momentarily. And now here's a chance as Coughlin plays this for Chatfield. Chatfield has it now. Left to right across your radio dials where Carolina's going to attempt to be. They're in the road whites, Carolina in the home reds. Icing against Carolina, so they cannot change. 11:18 left to go in the third. This is going to be complete game coverage to follow at hopelesssportsguy.wordpress.com once this is done. Florida leading in shots per game at 40. Carolina at 37. New Jersey at 37.6 with Calgary and Pittsburgh sitting at about 36. 11:18 left to go in the third. Florida's still up 1-0. They get the shot, goes just wide of Raanta toward the left side post. Picked up now, and a penalty is going to upcome against the Carolina Hurricanes. It's going to go against Jack Drury for tripping at the 11:11 marker. So this is a big time opportunity here for Florida to get another goal, try to make it 2-0 on their fourth power play of the game as Drury gets called for tripping. So they said they got a chance to get Alexander Barkov's legs, and I think that was awfully close, just enough. Let me get another look at this here. Maybe, maybe not. That one was quick. That was a tough one against Jack Drury. I wouldn't say any less than that. It was a tough one against him on there. But Carolina does win the defensive zone draw, and Skjei and Pesce will get this one down the ice. Now back to Brandon Montour. It's played off the goal stick of Spencer Knight. We're just about the halfway marker of this third period. John Ott with you from FLA Live Arena. Panthers trying to get a rare home win because they haven't been home much. Not because their record hasn't been good. They're 3-1 at home, but they just haven't been home so much. They're 4-5-1 on the road. Stahl able to get a little bit of pressure there for Carter Verhaeghe. Now Lindell trying to bank this one off the right side post off the shoulder of Raanta. And now Montour. Here's a chance for Reinhart. Cross. This goes right into the glove of Raanta as he made a good save, sliding all the way across. It was a little bit of a fluff shot there off the stick, but he still made a good save on this. The shot board once again evens at 31. And Florida trying to make something happen with their fourth power play of the contest, still holding on to a 1-0 lead. Carolina been playing a lot of defensive shell more than they'd like to because they're taking 3 penalties in the second, 1 in the third. But again, they have 31 shots, but a lot of that stuff has been from the D. It's not been close in the sense of it. I think it's been an easier night for Spencer Knight, all things considered, even though both goaltenders, Raanta's made 30 saves and Spencer Knight's made 31, trying to get that shutout. So Florida, cross pass, banks it off of Raanta in behind the cage now. This stays with the Panthers. Montour, Barkov, holding, goes back to Montour now in the high slot. Barkov has it in the left circle. Stolainen in behind the cage now. Here's a chance, Lindell to Barkov. Barkov now. Back to Listerainen. Reinhart. Good stick check there by Carolina with Sebastian Aho to knock it away from Montour there momentarily. But here comes Barkov. Leaves it here for Verhaeghe. Off the back end, Barkov scores! Florida finally gets one on the power play, and it's 2-0 Panthers. And that could absolutely be the death blow for Carolina. Nothing Raanta could do there. Ranta's played about as good as you could ask for. He's made 31 saves. Spencer Knight's made 31 saves, but Spencer Knight's opportunities have been nowhere near as difficult. Barkov able to get the entry there for Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe back to Barkov off the backhand. He releases it quickly. And it's a 2-0 lead for the Florida Panthers, as easy as you like. And if I'm Florida, I'm going to double check this. Carolina, were they onside? It seems like they were. They're able to time that just in time to allow Verhaeghe to get back onside. And then there you go. 9:40 left to go in the first. It's where they score, or not in the third, I should say. My goodness, is where they score. So shot is going to bounce off, and it's going to stay here into the offensive zone of the Panthers. And we come back with 9:31 left to play. Panthers just taking a 2-goal lead, courtesy of Alexander Barkov. Come right back.
does not protect everyone and is not for those with severe allergic reactions to its ingredients or to a previous dose. An increased risk of Guillain-Barré syndrome was observed after taking Shingrix. Fainting can also happen. The most common side effects are pain, redness, and swelling at the injection site, muscle pain, tiredness, headache, shivering, fever, and upset stomach. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Shingrix today.
So the night at the Home Depot, at every location, a night when our stores see a grand transformation. We bring out the tools you really do need, like snowmen and string lights and plenty of trees. We work through the night preparing our splendor for Black Friday savings all through November. And what you do next is always fantastic, because we have the tools to make your holiday the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
This book has helped me reach so many young homeowners who have become their parents.
What's the lowest you'll go on one of these books? Remember, Verhaeghe stores.
I didn't reach chapter 6 yet. I may have read the book, but they still have a long way to go.
Get your John Ott, don't they?
Let's just follow it.
I noticed there weren't any refreshments, so I'm just gonna leave a couple of snacks.
Folks, the line's a shambles. Let's tuck it in, sir.
Come on.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Progressive can't protect you from becoming advanced, but we can protect you holding on to bundle with us.
We don't need a line monitor.
Genius.
Ironic. Edelman struggling with reception.
Quick turnaround for the Hurricanes tomorrow night. Connor McDavid and the Oilers will close out the season series with the Canes. Carolina likes some payback. Right now, Carolina tries to get on the board as Skjei gets...
Carolina is trying to get a shot right on, and Spencer Knight and able to keep that before across the goal line as we got right back underneath our action here. And now we got a kerfuffle in front of the net of Spencer Knight with 9:24 left to go in the third. So right off the draw as we go back in there, Aho trying to power move right in front of the net. He got knocked off the puck there. Did Skjei as well as they're trying to wait on the doorstep. Sticks everywhere. Skjei got a little bit of airborne as he was trying to get his opportunity there on Spencer Knight. But it's 9:24 left to go in the third, and Carolina needs 2 goals. And the one thing I would say that normally isn't an issue, but even with Carolina having 32 shots on the shot board, I can't particularly tell you at any point in mind that any of these have been too dangerous here for Spencer Knight. Not taking away anything from the potential shutout, but high danger chances, no, can't recall too many of them. So Pesce gets a pass in there deep for Sebastian Aho. This is played through Necas as he was fighting as it got gloved down by one of the Panthers. Pesce quickly, and Spencer Knight makes the save. 9:01 left to go in the third. That was a great play by Martin Necas, just to be able to knock that one out of the air after it was already played with the glove hand down there by Florida. So good work there by Necas to be able to create an opportunity there. As we got about 9 minutes left to go in this third period. Florida now up 2-0, courtesy of Alexander Barkov, with Carter Verhaeghe and Brandon Montour getting the primary and secondary assists. So Lindell going to try to win this defensive zone draw. And they kicks out one of the Canes right now. We're going to have a chance to see who this actually is. So Jesperi Kotkaniemi against Lindell. And Lindell can't win it clean as this goes back as Jarvis able to intercept it. Jarvis with Teuvo Teravainen right now. Rod Brandemore's squad are going to have to start pulling up the stops here with 8:45 left in the third. They want to get back into this. Again, they're not being outshot. It's 33 tie. And now here's a potential 2-on-1. Lumberg. He was the pass across there, but a slap shot was put right on there by Lindell. And I thought maybe that would have been the wrong decision to make, as Raanta, I don't know if he would have been able to slide across. It was Lindell going to let one go, and Raanta just makes a casual glove save. So Antoine Lindell, I mean, it's a shot right on net. I'm not going to complain at that point because you're up by 2. I guess you don't want to make the mistake of getting a cross pass that could casually be intercepted and piss off Paul Maurice. So I guess that does make sense in a little bit instead of it. But you probably could have made it 3-0. Really put the game away. Noisen gets this one to Stahl. The Carolina Hurricanes captain centered out in front, and wow, that didn't even go in. And now one of the defensemen blows a tire there for Carolina, but Annti Raanta will flip this one way through the neutral zone, and this is plugged down nicely there by Jordan Martinook. Martinook tries to get this one in deep as Noisen falls down again. Jalen Chatfield Jalen Chatfield spins around the kick, but this banks off of Knight's goal mask. And now back to Jalen Chatfield on the own end for Carolina. So Carolina going to try to go left or right across your radio dial. Panthers got a 34-33 shot edge right now as Chatfield hits up the kick play to the defensive partner, and this gets turned over. Chatfield picks it back up. Nothing comes of a penalty on the side of it as it was bounced in between stick blades and skate blades. And now Florida will try to pick this one up in their own end. And now here's a chance for Reinhart off the backhand side. Reinhart with Lindell. Lindell will pick this up now near the right side dot. He gets worked over nicely there by Carolina. Brett Pesce will chip this one on. His players come together again. Sebastian Aho trying to find it, but it gets turned over there by Carter Verhaeghe as Svechnikov's pass gets turned over. 7:15 left to go in the third. Carolina needs a couple of goals right now. They got to make something happen on their offensive side. Again, the shots would dictate things sound fine at 34 apiece, but it's not enough traffic in front of Spencer Knight if they're going to shoot those long shots, and they haven't got anything in tight. It's been nothing but blue line opportunities here for Carolina. 6:55 left to go. Verhaeghe tries to get the steal as this goes back to Derek Stefan. Jesper Fast is watching against Forsling just in case it bounces back to him, and it does. Fast needs to locate this loose puck as he spins around the right side red line. Stefan with the pass to the defense as this goes back to Jacob Slavin into the screen. This one gets blocked. Picked up now by the Florida Panthers as Carter Verhaeghe is having trouble trying to get out of his own zone. Derek Stefan tried to do a casual center out in front, but good work there by Forsling to be able to get a steal. Verhaeghe trying to fight in between Martin. He got hit right in the mouth. And I think a high stick is going to be called. As Brent Burns wants to make sure that there's no blood there, as that might have just hit the heavily padded beard, as this is a chance for Carter Verhaeghe as he goes in the box for Carolina to do something on the power play. That's the last thing that Paul Maurice could have wanted. But we'll see if Carolina can make something happen right now, because even with some of their power plays, with the exception of one shot that Sebastian Aho couldn't get his stick on in the middle of the slot, there's just not much going on right now. So a 2-minute minor as Brent Burns, the high stick does not draw blood. 34 shots apiece. It is Nick Cousins and Alexander Barkov, goals in the first and third period respectively. That's what's giving the Florida Panthers a 2-0 lead. But Carolina's on the power play. Brent Burns fights off the body contact. And now Necas with the one-timer. Burns on the doorstep. Spencer Knight is down. Carolina's still with the puck right now as the Panthers trying to get rid of this, but Brent Burns will collect in the high slot. Fakes the slapper. Here for Necas. Extra cross pass there for Aho as it's in behind the office of Spencer Knight. Flip pass there to Necas, but it bounces off the skate there, the right skate, as Burns can't hold it in, and now Burns will go back. He's going to recollect as the Carolina Hurricanes will attack left to right across your radio dial. 5:40 left to go in this third period. Noisen will try to get this one in deep there with Burns as this bounces back to him. Noisen has it now. They're with Necas. Here's a chance now for Svechnikov. Now Necas near the right dot. Lets one go, and he just whistles it wide to the right post. Aho can't find it, and Lindell will get this one deep, and now it's Barkov. He's got a chance off a one-on-one. Tries to get around Burns. A couple extra moves, and now picked up by Raanta there momentarily as Barkov was putting on the windmill deep, and he just almost got around Burns. And now Jesperi Kotkaniemi, he will be one of the other long forwards as he's going to start with a long pass back there with Coghlan. So wholesale line changes. So power play line numero dos here. Coghlan, what a stick lift there by Gudis as he stopped a sure goal right with Coghlan on the doorstep. So into the players' bench, we're going to get a neutral zone draw. Carolina's power play is down to 30 seconds. And that was what Carolina needed to show a little bit of life there on the power play. Aho with the 1T. Burns was on the doorstep as Spencer Knight was knocked down. Noisen was also there as well, trying to pound away near the right side of the crease. Rajko Gudis was backing up Spencer Knight just to make sure the puck got through. It hit off the skate blade instead. Carolina needs to win this draw right now, but it's contested as this is tied up in between. But Carolina will pick this up now. Here's a chance. Going to be let go by Teravainen, and he hit nothing but the glass as this pinballs all the way back into the Carolina defensive end. 4:30 left to go in this third period. John Ott here with you on the call. And between the Florida Panthers and the Carolina Hurricanes, Carolina, they have to get blanked if they don't score here within this last 2 seconds on that power play. Big hit on the other side as Jarvis got knocked down on this heavily padded wallet. And now here's a chance for Lindell as Verhaeghe's just out of the box. Verhaeghe, he's going to let it go. Lindell tries to play this out of the air, but it goes just wide, and Raanta able to get settled back in. Jarvis has it now, holding off the forehand side, but good work by Forsling. Knock that puck away as we're down to 3:55 left to go in this contest. Florida trying to hold on the 2-0 lead. Florida going to get this out of their own end now. As Jalen Chatfield's going to get on his horse, Carter Verhaeghe. He's the one that stayed out there. And are they going to say that's icing going to be against Verhaeghe? So Florida can't change, but again, for Verhaeghe, that's okay because he just came out of the box, so he should be a little bit fresh. Carolina can take their changes. Florida cannot. And we will see what happens. You're looking at Peter Kochetkov. He's the backup goaltender for Carolina Hurricanes right now. There's no Freddie Anderson tonight. And we'll see when Annti Raanta is going to vacate the goal crease with 3:45 left to go in the third. That's ultimately going to depend on whether or not Carolina can win the offensive zone draw. They cannot. As this goes a chance for Forsling to backhand this one in deep. This is gloved down by Brent Burns. Brent Burns broke his stick as he tried to clear that one across the right side red line. So he's going to go back and pick up a stick. And now Jordan Martinook, he watches a pass go by from Stefan as Burns. They was able to get back in there just in time to hold that left side blue line. And now they can as Barkov will play this one ahead, but this goes in the players' bench in between Verhaeghe. 3:19 left to go in the third. But before that, we get a media timeout and stoppage. We will see if the Carolina Hurricanes get a chance to pull their goalie with 3:19 left. They need 2 goals. They're down 2-0 the Florida Panthers. Come right back.
This is my walk-in closet / vanity. This is very now. Alive. Every dorm needs a kind vanity maker.
It was a night at the Home Depot. At every location, a night in our stores to see a grand transformation. We bring out the tools you really do need, like snowmen, string lights, and plenty of trees. We work through the night preparing our splitter for Black Friday savings all through November. And what we do next is always fantastic, because we have the tools to make your holiday the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
You have the power to rebel against active ankylosing spondylitis with Rinvoq. Want to own the day as if AS doesn't stop you? Need to take a stand as if AS doesn't keep you down? Fight back with Rinvoq. If you still have AS symptoms after a TNF blocker like Humira or Enbrel, Rinvoq is different and may help. Rinvoq, a once-daily pill, can significantly relieve back pain and stiffness and improve functional mobility, making everyday activities easier. That's Rinvoq Relief.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestine.
All 3 of these men have over 1,000 games played in the NHL tonight. Eric Staal, 18 shifts, 22 for Mark, the defenseman for the Panthers. Jordan Staal with 19. Eric playing his 1,300th game tonight. Jordan his 1,105th game. And for Mark, it's 10,033. Or 1,033. 10,000 would be a big record.
Back into the action right now. We got about 3 minutes left to go. Florida Panthers trying to hold on the 2-0 lead. Carolina Hurricanes need a pressure, and they got to do it quickly. Staal has this now in for the Florida Panthers side of it, not to be confused with the other 2 brothers that are on the ice. Jordan Staal, the captain, Mark Staal, the other defenseman right now. Mark Staal will try to find this right now. Empty net here for Carolina. They can't keep this in the zone now, and Carter Verhaeghe is going to turn on the Jets just to make sure that he can kind of pressure a little bit and kill some time. As we're down to 2:30 left to go in this third period of action. John Ott with you from FLA Live Arena right now. It's a 2-0 lead for the Florida Panthers. And now this could be an opportunity for Verhaeghe as he almost made something happen by himself. And now Carolina will get this one back. And behind there was Stefan Noisen. Noisen will try to pick this up there with Brady Skjei. Skjei He gets the steal. Pesce tries to find it there with Necas. Necas trying to poke this away, and this is an opportunity for Lindell, but good block there by Burns. Just to be able to get that stop, but he turns it over toward the neutral zone side. Barkov gets stick lifted right at the end of it. Wow, good defense there by Carolina. That should have been a sure goal. But here's Necas. Necas near the right side dot, holding, needs some help. Brent Burns fakes the slapper. He's going to corral it in between his skates. And now Andrei Svechnikov down to a minute 40. Into the screen, Spencer went the wrong way, but it bounced and surprised him a little bit. And now see if Carolina can keep this in the zone. Forsling will get this one down with Jacob Slavin. A minute 25 left to go in this third period. Carolina with the net pull, they've had it pulled for about a minute now, but they need 2 goals. They need a minute 20 to do it. Now the right side faceoff dot as a massive humanity comes together right now trying to pry this puck loose. This is won by Carolina. This is Smasher on the kick plate there. Burns trying to fight off Colin White. Still with the Jesperi Kotkaniemi. Burns plays this out in front. Jarvis trying to get to it with Kotkaniemi. And now this gets into the neutral zone. Can't get picked up. And now here's a chance for Jarvis as he plays a backhand pass for Kotkaniemi. Jarvis centered it out front. Big save, Spencer Knight. And now Stahl will play this here for Burns. Down to 40 seconds left to go. Stahl has it off the backhand as he gets cut off. Jarvis now for Burns. Burns looking through the tip deflection. And this gets cleared down the ice. Now Slavin has it, but 30 seconds left to go in this contest. Carolina needs 2 goals. Great move there by Necas to toe drag this ahead, but they're off sides. You're going to have to tag back up here as they're running out of time as Carolina, and they're dumped this one in yet again. Spencer Knight, 10 seconds away from his shutout. He's been good, but it's been a tough go here for Annti Raanta. Bennett, he's going to score the empty net goal, make it 3-0 Florida. They're going to win this game. And 40 shots for Carolina to 37 for the Florida Panthers. But I will say this again, whether or not people will agree or disagree, those 40 shots, it looks like a lot on that Chiron. But I don't think any of those shots, with the exception of maybe a couple deflections from the blue line side, none of them have really been in the paint. And I would say it's about as easy of a 40 save shutout for Spencer Knight as you could ask for. So all that's really left is the puck drop here. That's going to do it. Florida's going to win this game 3-0. They get a big time win as they come back home to FLA Live Arena. They shut out the Canes. They win 3-0. Again, full coverage to follow. hopelesssportsguide.wordpress.com. And I might not see you guys Thursday or Friday, but I'll definitely see you Saturday for the late game, either between the Flames and Jets with Cooper Hopkins or the Kings and Red Wings, if that's on my own, between 10 or 10:30 respectively. So I'll probably talk to you again Saturday. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.
But the big things are Florida started the game much more effectively than Carolina. Power plays at the start of this third period that you're going to need to win special teams. And some guys that are real